Stop that. Stop that. Stop that. Yeah. I hear him chat to the noise. Move too quick, can't stop for the talking. I hear him chat with the walking. Just too sharp with the prize. White girls let it tell me I'm awesome. Yeah. Hot like fire on the pan. If you wanna touch my please use caution. Cold like 0 degrees. I'm out the cage, gotta let out the beast. Revolutionary, gotta let out the streets. Locked in a cage, I'ma let out the sheets. We can't go out, man, forget my peace. You take the west, I'll take on the east. I'ma put him in the cage, never let out the. I hear him chat to the noise. Move too quick, can't stop for the talking. I hear him chat with the prize. Man so tough, but mans keep walking, yeah. Just too sharp with the prize. White girls, let it tell me I'm awesome, yeah. Hot like fire on the pan. If you wanna touch me, please use caution. Stop that. Stop that. Stop that.
I walk in today.
What happened?
I mean, I walk in today and I didn't check the schedule.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh no, this crew is working today. This is the group that carries us into the future.
It's a solid crew, man.
No, I'll tell you why it's not a solid crew, okay? Because I know what I'm walking into. First of all, okay, where Mike Ryan and Amin are on basketball, I know Mike Ryan's going to want to get on this bandwagon, and I know Amin's not going to let him. The basketball of the last two nights, Stugotz.
You are aware that it's a headphone, not an iPhone. What is happening here?
Well, I'll tell you what's happening now. Thank you for asking. I was trying to figure out if I could do today's entire show, just close my eyes and listen to it so that I can hear our show instead of see it, because I never cared for anyone to see it. So the reason that I was doing that is because I don't want to work with you guys today.
Oh, wait. Are we doing Don't Look Now?
No.
Are we?
No. I don't want to.
Are we doing Don't Look Now?
No, we're not. No, we're not doing Don't Look Now. I don't want to do Don't Look Now.
That already strapping down the furniture.
Right. Okay. Great. Let's in a contract year with DraftKings. Yeah. Let's go into the future and beat everyone else up, because Don't Look Now, we're wearing blindfolds and it's sponsored.
Yeah. Look. It's limited in scope, but the execution's been stellar so far.
Anyway, so it's not so this is the reason that I dread today's crew, and I want to listen to our old show as people who all bet on each other, because we make big bets at DraftKings. We cash them. We win them. That's how that works for our show. Amin and Mike Ryan, I'm hoping, are going to argue about basketball, but the last time that happened, it gets ugly. They're emotional, defensive.
You people argue? No.
And walking into the mix is Stugotz, and he is doing the show that I'm afraid that people who are really old want to do, and it's a good show. He hates the traffic, and so he's coming in here today, and I want to do a good show that celebrates basketball, not fixes basketball the way Mike's trying to be doing for how long, and Stugotz comes in complaining about the traffic.
Is there somebody that likes traffic? Like, who enjoys traffic? No one enjoys traffic. I have to tell you, I have noticed that the construction where the turnpike down here meets 95, they have done some stellar construction work, but it causes problems elsewhere on my route to the studios here. Dan, today's drive, 2 hours plus. I can't handle it, man. I can't.
I don't mind traffic when I'm not driving. If I'm in the back seat, like if I'm in an Uber and I don't have to be anywhere on time in particular, I'll sit in traffic because I like messing on my phone. I like people say, "Where are you?" I'm like, "I'm not there yet." And just
if someone else is driving, because here you take an elevator. I mean,
well, that's not always the case.
Billy, why are you wearing a neck brace?
Traffic.
Oh, see, look at what you would have missed if your eyes were closed.
I got in a car accident yesterday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You okay?
HIPAA. So
See what I'm saying?
can't go any further, I was told. I think those are the rules. I don't think I'm allowed to disclose my own medical information, am I?
Investigation pending.
I got hit by a Suburban.
Really? Oh.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, not me. My car got hit by a Suburban. If it was me, I'd be in more than it.
Wow.
I thought that this would be a little discreet, so I wasn't.
No.
You can see it. I wore my most zippable hoodie.
Well, I am so happy, Billy, that you're here, because this was one of the reasons that I was like, oh, this crew today, because Mike and Amin are going to get too serious about basketball, and I didn't think you were in today on a Wild Billy Wednesday.
Oh, I'm here.
And that
Loopy, but here.
Well, this disappointed me. That
I'm here.
can we
What,
get
that he's here?
No, no. I thought we were doing Wild Willie Wednesday, and then I got in here, and Billy wasn't here. And I'm like, what are we doing? Not this crew. And here comes Stugotz 2 minutes before showtime, wandering around the studio snorting about traffic.
Yeah.
Traffic wasn't great.
No.
But I decided to stop to get another car and then come in. That's why I was a little bit, yeah.
I want to point out that Billy looks like George Sedano doing a Christmas game.
It was strange. I just looked up, and he looked a bit like a doll, like I don't know, some sort of espionage doll.
See, this is why you can't have your eyes closed, because you're not even talking into the microphone. You can't see the microphone. This is, I'm going to change this.
I'm aging. Mike, listen to me. I'm aging in front of people, and I'm trying to hide it. I miss our old audio show. This is a video show now, and I like doing video, but I miss our old audio show. And so can I do the show this way?
No, it's a weird look. If I could have a camera fixated on any single person in the world yesterday, I'll tell you who I'd pick. And I wish I had this superpower. That every day I could just get a 24/7 feed on one person.
Okay.
And it could be something that I decide at the end of the day, like retroactively. Like, this person had the most interesting day.
Fly on the wall.
world. I would love to be the captain aboard the USS Harry Truman. When that second plane fell into the ocean. They lost another plane on the same warship.
Well, the good news is they're not that expensive, right? They're like $12, $13.
I mean, I've gone my entire life, and I'm sure this has happened before, but I'd never heard about it. And I sure as shit had never heard about it in consecutive weeks. I would love to see this person be delivered the news that they lost a second plane off the same aircraft carrier. Who would you pick? Jerry Jones? I mean, that George Pickens acquisition seems like pretty interesting. I would love to know that.
Halliburton is 10 for 11 on shots to tie or take the lead in the last 2 minutes this year.
And they're like weird game winners. They're like 4-point plays or miss free throws on purpose. They're not even like good-looking shots, and he's just a killer. I wish his dad was there for it.
Amin, please take me through the emotion of this. Ernie Johnson, salute to you, sir. I want to be able to do different basketball analysis than we've been doing, Amin, because I think, even though it's small sample size theater, and even though I'm sure most basketball fans know that not having Evan Mobley out there changes everything. Like it doesn't allow. You're going to disagree with that, Amin.
It does, but that's not why they lost the game. Like, yes, in general, not having Evan Mobley, and by the way, Darius Garland, another all-star, not having two all-stars out there, and DeAndre Hunter, who has been their sixth man basically since the trade deadline, massive before you start the game. And then that game happened, and they were kicking Indiana's ass up and down the floor. And what happened at the end was you saw, and Kenny Atkinson, again, shout out to coaches taking accountability, he says, my regret is that I didn't go deeper in my bench in the second half and in the fourth quarter in particular, because we ran out of gas, because I tightened the rotation, and they just took advantage of that.
The thing that I find so interesting about all that's happening out here, because, okay, whatever. I mean, Mobley's out, but that was a great regular season team. And when Donovan Mitchell scores 48, most teams almost always win unless you're playing against Jokic in the bubble and he's got Jamal Murray. But Donovan Mitchell plays that game. Donovan Mitchell did the thing the star has to do at home to save the series.
Yes.
Like the very thing. He's like, Cleveland, okay, we got a one. I know everybody says it's Allen and Mobley and Garland. No, it's not. It's me, and are you guys coming? But Atkinson, are you going to use Mobley a better way? And now that team is on the brink. And on the brink after an amazing regular season that made us forget, hey, you know the Cavs are always the Cavs, except when LeBron's not there, right? Like that the Cavs for a long time have been the Cavs, and now they're a winner.
Yes. And
Indiana's got them buried with one of the most interesting players in the sport. All the others say he's overrated. 10 for 11 on shots to tie or take the lead in the last 2 minutes this year. Like, everyone's telling me Brunson's clutch, and he is because he does it empirically, but that's clutch.
Yes and no, right? So, yes, you're right. They have a reputation, but I think they shook that reputation this year. I think last night, again, was a case of one team ran out of gas. A shorthanded team that was up ran out of gas, and both coaches cited the physicality and the ability to defend aggressively in a way that you can't during the regular season, and neither of them complained. Neither of them was like, they got to get a hold of this. It's like, hey, man, this is the playoffs. We got to get around it. Donovan Mitchell did all the things a superstar's supposed to do. The problem is Donovan Mitchell ran out of steam, ran out of gas, and there are two plays in particular where you can kind of see that. One is that offensive rebound that was his basically block out. And then the other one is when he's basically kind of falling apart right there at the end. You know, he can't even turn up the court without kind of bumping into somebody and collapsing. And so for me, I look at that game as Cleveland had the perfect game plan. They executed. They ran out of gas. Indiana took advantage. And by the way, the thing I wanted to mention, Dan, is I didn't see Indiana take up 800 three-pointers to get that done. No. They took the available shots. They were driving lanes again and again and again, and they took advantage of that. And that's the difference between what happened to Boston the other night and what happened to Indiana last night.
Okay, but the reason I want to talk about how analysis changes, right? We just talked the other day about, like, all our lives we've done, man, role players on the road, always bad, always bad. You never get anything from him. And then Buddy Hield goes from 0 in Game 6 to, he's carrying all of them. We'll talk about Butler and Curry, but it's a role player on the road goes 9 for 11 from threes. So everyone's talking about how the game has changed, and the threes dominate all, and Karl Anthony Towns is a million miles away, and we're complaining the Celtics are champions, but we don't like to watch how they play because all they do is take step-back threes. That's boring. Stop perfecting that. Is Joe Mazzulla a good coach? Like, that's something that happened on our show yesterday. So if the game spreads out like that, now we hate Harden, he ruined the game, MVP, but never great, whatever. If we're doing all of the math on Indiana-Cleveland, this is how Halliburton becomes a star. You slay this dragon this way because they're the underdogs. Ernie Johnson told us, watch this series because the Pacers can beat anybody in the modern age. And the thing I wanted to ask all of you, we can usually do this with basketball pretty simply. It's really predictable. 1, 2, 3, 5. 1, 3, 4, 5. Like, at the end, it's going to be the 1, the 2, the 3, and the 4, or the 1, 2, 3, and 5, and it will get there some way. But last year, it was Dallas. They come through the middle, and the Pacers could beat everyone because they have the elements in the modern game. And I'm wondering, if today, more than any day before, basketball can be less predictable than it was because the Pacers can make a ton of threes and change everything.
But that's my point. They didn't make a ton of threes. That's my exact point. They didn't come back because they made a ton of threes. They came back because they upped their defensive intensity and tried to get threes, but instead, because Cleveland was rightfully defending three-point line so well, you got Siakam to the rim, you got Halliburton to the rim a couple of times, you got great offensive rebounding, you got Miles Turner right in the front of the rim, and then Halliburton hits a three at the end to win the game, but that wasn't a three-point barrage that did them in. That was them playing methodical, good, smart basketball, which is why, Dan, what I said yesterday, and it's not that Indiana's not a three-point shooting team. This is not a philosophical thing, but what I said is they're not robots. And the problem with Boston is, Coach said I got to shoot a three. Okay. No, you don't have to do that. If you got a one-on-one with Jalen Brunson on an island, you don't have to shoot a three, I promise you.
But this part's so interesting to me, Stugotz, because do you see what's happening here, right? For the last 2 years, no one's really bothered or challenged Boston, and so Mike Ryan is whimpering around here. Somebody make Tatum earn it. Make him win.
Well, the Knicks are doing it. So.
I gotta say, we had general consensus, even when we talked to Juju in the post game. Like it's fair to question this team and want to see them do it. That's all I want to see. The same way I wanted to see Steph Curry do it in the final and be the best player, and and he was. And the same way that I just want the NBA to be good. And this second round has been really fascinating. They've been really compelling games, and this will get the people in. I love Halliburton as a star. Like, he literally went into a WWE ring and had a face-off with Jalen Brunson. Like, he likes being the bad guy. Hell, his dad likes being the bad guy. I know he was a star before, but if he has moments like that in these big upper echelon games and he makes a deeper run, it is so great to watch a superstar totally ascend right before your very eyes too.
He needs to have moments like that against Boston or against the Knicks. You would agree, though, right?
Yeah.
Reggie Miller had that moment. They made a 30 for 30 over it.
I think Halliburton had one of the remember that show that we did a few months back? Like, what are regular season moments that you remember? I remember Halliburton against Milwaukee and winning that game, and probably when they had what was a win probability for Milwaukee? Over 99%. These are the moments. These are where people become legends. We've seen it in that uniform, to your point.
Stugotz just whispered in my ear, and I miss these tickles from him because he just sort of belched out of the side of his mouth, whispered just to me, muttered really, ran out of gas.
How about you grab a rebound?
Okay. So, this part I want you to help me analyze, okay? Please. Since 1997, teams are 3 and 1,640 when trailing by 7+ in the final minute of the fourth quarter overtime. The Pacers this postseason have 2 of those wins. Okay.
And I'm sorry. Amin had no idea about the WWE segment in which Halliburton and Jalen Brunson had a face-to-face showdown.
I thought he was like doing like allegories or whatever.
No, so this is the problem with you and Mike's relationship around basketball, and this is where you guys have no chemistry, okay? Halliburton wants to be a star, and Mike Ryan wishes for him to be a star as Mike Ryan arrives at basketball and says to Halliburton, hey, tell me stories and bring your dad. And what are you here to say?
He didn't say that. He said they miss Evan Mobley.
He said they ran out of gas.
I'm saying that when you guys argue about basketball, you passionately defend that the game's not dying. They haven't changed it too much. But then Joe Mazzulla's got this Boston team, right? And you're saying they're not robots. The only team that has – I know Orlando played okay against them, but the only team that actually challenged Boston – the last year in the playoffs was Indiana, and games Indiana could have easily won and may have learned how to do so because, holy shit, Halliburton's a star.
What's the question? I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm confused. What you're saying? What Mike said earlier, and now you're saying
no. I'm saying that when you and Mike have argued, okay, in the past, Mike gets to basketball here, and he hasn't been paying attention all season. He says, "I'm boycotting basketball. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care."
I'm just choosing other things over it, but
whatever.
Yeah.
Look,
you can always come back.
I've been critical of the game, but dude, I'm totally good admitting that I'm wrong. These games have been compelling. I want them to be compelling. Yeah, have I lamented too much probably for the audience that the game is boring to me? Yeah, but I think it's a proper reaction. All I want to see is better games. I will always admit that I'm wrong when I'm wrong, except when it comes to Paul Pierce and Brad Marchand.
Okay,
those people suck.
Okay, no, wait. Let me.
Those are the only two. Huh?
Let me reframe the question for you, okay? Because I believe that Mike Ryan right now is identifying as, because we've been talking about bandwidth, fanwidth, how much you can care about a particular game. You've always cared about basketball. You care about it unreasonably. Mike has ignored your entire season. He doesn't care, but he's like, ooh, something happened with Halliburton's dad. Maybe I'll leave racing, Talladega for a little while to see if I visit basketball again. And the last time you guys fought on air, you came in defending the purity of basketball and stuff, and he's over here telling you, no, more wrestling. The future, you know how you fix basketball? Mike's been fixing basketball all season. You know how do you fix it? More wrestling. And you're not even paying attention.
Or better games. Better games, more compelling games, more moments like that, and I think we got it. Dan, I'm not going to fight Amin today. It's just not going to happen. Today is a celebration of sports. The sports last night kicked ass, and the NBA is finally coming to the party with good, compelling games that aren't blowouts. And they had a great series with the Nuggets and Clippers. I kept my eye on that series. There's a lot going on.
He kept an eye.
Well, dude, to me, playoff hockey is the top level, and I don't want to make this a hockey versus basketball thing, but even sports neutrals will admit. I mean, look what happened in Game 7 between the Jets and the Blues. The President's Trophy winners saved their entire season and saved themselves from embarrassment with 1.6 seconds left, and they ended up winning in overtime. That is just drama that the NBA very rarely replicates. When the NBA playoffs, when I was growing up, were all about drama. And this year, I think they were delivering. Last night, they most certainly did.
Okay, let me start with a couple of things. Now I'm seeing a clearer place where Dan wanted to go, and I see it too now. So I apologize, Dan. I wasn't.
You now see it?
I now see it. Because what I was trying to tell Mike was, I'm not saying the intensity was at this level, but we had good games all season long, right? And a lot of the things that Mike was saying back then were like falsehoods. Everyone shoots too many threes. No, not everyone shoots too many threes. No, I don't care if my role players are shooting threes, because I want to see my stars do star things. That's the way basketball has evolved, and I think we can all agree nobody wants to see the Tyrone Hill 16-foot jumper. That's what got eliminated out of basketball.
I do kind of miss it.
Right? So that's
put it on the
I hear
poll.
Stugotz already like
That shot was money.
Put it on the poll, Juju at Le Batard Show. Do you miss that? What is it, a 12-footer?
Tyrone
18?
Hill.
No, but is it an 18-footer or 12-footer?
No, it's a 16-footer.
16-footer, yeah.
They call it free throw line extended.
I just miss him and his cheekbones. Oh, come back, Tyrone Hill.
Do you miss Tyrone Hill?
Yeah, you know who else? I miss George Hill's shoulders.
Oh, great shoulders.
My point, though, or one of my points about this game, because I think
before you go, because I have to get to, because it'll get away if I don't say it. You said what brought Mike back was Halliburton fighting and his dad. No. Mike finally said, let me see what's happening in these basketball games, and saw some amazing basketball and said, maybe I misjudged too quickly. Or maybe it is just the playoffs and he knows that these games are important versus game 37 in the middle of the season. But either way, not wrestling brought him back. Basketball brought him back.
That's right. Well, Stugotz, this part's
upsets.
Stugotz, this part's so interesting. Amin and I talked yesterday, and I know Amin found it interesting as even as a basketball savant, with Iman Shumpert about like how LeBron and all the changes in basketball made it so that now Jason Tatum can just fire up threes from a million miles away, and they've sort of streamlined hedge fund efficiency. The numbers now say take the threes. Boston won a championship. We're wondering if their coach is any good. And Indiana's here to say that right now on storyline, we know Indiana can beat them because they almost did last year when they weren't ready. And this is how you get ready now. And then you can ask yourself, hey, Tatum, guys, have you actually been pushed in one of these? And now we start questioning, hey, Mazzulla, have you actually coached in one of these? Now, of course, Boston won a Game 7 against Miami here, and Mazzulla went from fired to now he's running the sport.
Strus wasn't out of bounds. It was still under protest. But I think the close games, the NBA has most certainly, we talked about the diff in Cleveland, there have been more blowouts quantifiably in that sport. And unfortunately, that also meets in the playoffs. I punt on the regular season because a lot of teams have players are having their loads managed and all this BS. And you finally get to the point that there are stakes, and you hope for close games because those moments where the games are close, the intensity is amplified on the court. Everyone in the arena feels it. It is just different.
When the games are close and the games have meaning.
Right.
Yes.
And that actually brings out the wrestling moments because players feed off of that intensity, that tension. That brings those wrestling moments. So they kind of go hand in hand. It's a byproduct of good, intense playoff basketball, and I'm really glad to see that it's arrived.
I think what Mike likes about these NBA playoffs, it feels like the hockey playoffs. He loves the hockey playoffs. We all love the hockey playoffs because anything can happen. In the NBA, it's usually chalk that wins. But you were staring at conference finals that very well could be a 4 versus 7 seed, a 4 versus a 3 seed in the East.
We're out of
that
the
never happens.
Well, the NBA has been way more unpredictable lately. Like, you rattled through it. Like, we usually have these runs. You have what feels like an outlier championship from the Milwaukee Bucks. You have an 8 seed in the Miami Heat go to the NBA Finals. Like, it is as unpredictable as it's ever been in our lives, I mean.
See, but yes, and also no, not no to the unpredictable, but no to you like it because it's unpredictable. No. You like it because it's been good basketball. Yeah. That's why. If Cleveland had pulled that out last night,
still a good game.
If Halliburton hits that shot and then they give it to Mitchell, Mitchell just tosses it from 90 feet and it goes in and they win. It's still a great game, right? If Boston had held on against the Knicks, won in overtime, that's still a great game. It's not because
Fair
enough.
Good.
Fair enough.
That's honestly like been my on-ramp to it, is like Boston suffering. I'm like, all right, I remember this drug.
That's
Chasing that dragon.
That's the taste.
Okay, so this is what I want to talk about,
the
though.
Knicks.
So what?
I'm a Knicks guy now.
This is so interesting. It honestly is from a business perspective. Like, everyone's saying basketball's dying. The ratings are down, even though they got, the monster streaming dollars, and it doesn't matter whether ratings are down. They've got the monster streaming dollars, so it's a thriving business. But what does the NFL do? How does the NFL stay in business? No matter what, no matter how many Justin Tuckers, no matter how many Ravens, the Ravens made the statement on behalf of the NFL, literally made a statement on behalf of Justin Tucker. Like that. That's what happened. That league keeps us addicted on Sundays. Why? Because 3:45, holy shit, these games are good. How do you fix basketball? Holy shit, these games are good. The last 2 days, amazing basketball and great. And the only thing in the middle of it that was a turd is, oh, come on, Celtics, really? You're going to look like that doing that, and that's how the Knicks are going to beat you? Like that, you guys are going to play that way?
That wasn't a turd, though. It was a great game. Now, the comeuppance plays a part in why everyone is so excited and people like Mike are salivating. But the reality is it was still a very compelling game. Dan, I would argue, again, going back to you, the ratings are down. The ratings are down for any number of reasons that have nothing to do with the quality of play. I said this months ago when we had this conversation. The NBA doesn't have a style of play problem. It doesn't have a load management problem. It has a PR problem. We don't do a good job of controlling our destiny in terms of how our game is talked about in the same way that the NFL does, right? We can't change the fact that 1/82nd of a season is not as valuable as 1/17th of a season. We can't. There's nothing we can do to change that. It's here to stay, and it's been here. The reality is how people talk about our game, how we allow our game to be perceived, particularly with the casual market, right? Because the diehards are here. I was telling this to my buddies last night. Oh, man, it would be crazy if, like, Indiana and Minnesota got to the finals. And I'm saying, no, it's not. I mean, yes, it'd be crazy from us basketball heads. We'd love it. But the reality is, as the casuals need dependability, reliability, someone I can identify. The best example of this I can give is 2020. I'm watching the NBA Finals. My kid sits down next to me. My kid is 10 years old maybe at the time, maybe a little younger, and watches maybe 3 or 4 possessions. It says, where's Klay Thompson? Because in my child's mind, at that point, there is no such thing as an NBA Finals where Klay Thompson isn't out there. That's what the casual fan is. They turn on the TV, and if they see Shai Gilgeous-Alexander versus Tyrese Halliburton, they're like, I don't know these people.
But, the PR problem for the NBA is largely self-inflicted, right? Because it's not 1/72nd. It's 30 to 41 70-seconds of the season that's the problem.
The fact that you're saying that tells me we have a PR problem because it's not that much. It's nowhere near that much. But we allow it to be said over and over again, and not just by jamoke shows like ours, but people who pay for the right to broadcast the games. Turner and ESPN did not do a good job of being stewards of the game in the same way
but it's not their job, right?
Yes, it is.
It's
if you're
it's not my
broadcasting my
job
game
to go to watch the NBA.
No.
You give me a reason to watch
Billy,
it.
I'm not saying our job. I'm not saying it's the fans' job. I'm saying Turner and ESPN have a fiduciary duty to talk about the game in a way that is positive and uplifting and give people reasons to watch rather than giving people reasons not to watch.
I hear you, but I kind of like the negativity that I get from Turner. They kind of built their brand on keeping it real, and I don't want to get bogged down and be guilty of perpetuating what you're lamenting right there, Amin, and just talking about how bad the sport is. We're going to agree to disagree on the style of play and the load management. You don't think it's that big of an issue? I'm sure you have numbers to back it up. For me, perception is reality in that I punted on it. It is what it is when it came to me. It's venturing into baseball territory. And that's a couple different factors. My team is not good, but my team is not good because of a lot of the reasons that I've already outlined. I want to celebrate basketball because if they bring it like they've brought it over the last week, then there's no issue. They'll fix the sport. I imagine it will take time. Hell, baseball fixed the sport. There are issues. We've talked about it. Maybe it starts on the defensive end. But I want more moments like last night. Give me more moments like last night, and I'll be one of the people helping that arrow point in the other direction when it comes to their ratings.
So to be clear, we need playoff intensity basketball during the regular season.
Every night, yeah.
Got it.
From
Every
both
night.
teams and
Thank you.
every
I think
player.
maybe. Well,
It would work for me.
We need more intensity. We do. We need more intensity.
I mean, the
in
regular
these games.
season, I'm with Mike. It feels meaningless.
We need
It
more
does.
intensity.
Yeah, but this is how Mike goes conservative as a
Hmm?
fan. No, because you're all about you've been sniffing around with NASCAR and complaining about basketball.
Yeah, well, I mean, fan with. I gravitate to the things that I find compelling. It's pretty simple. Like
Minnesota's 12 for 76 on 3-pointers in their last 2 games. Like we are about to talk about style of basketball. The games have to be
Don Kang got me into that series. Like there are storylines there. Also, one of the things that is missed about their approach to the regular season is rivalries can be born in the regular season if you have certain intense games. I remember growing up and watching, like, well, can you imagine if these two teams match up in the playoffs? That exists in hockey. When the Panthers and the Senators are brawling at unprecedented rates and having 100 minutes of of penalty minutes, you wonder aloud, like, man, can you imagine how intense this would be if they somehow met in the playoffs? Basketball doesn't really have those moments in the regular season. You don't have scuffles so much in the regular season. You don't have hatred and vitriol spilling over. And I do think that they need to up the intensity. Now, that is hard to impose.
Yeah.
Well, the problem with
We need the perfect balance of Draymond, right? Like more Draymond being Draymond, but also less Draymond being Draymond, which is the hard thing. And really, no one's figured it out, particularly Draymond.
the Goldilocks Draymond, is that what we need?
That is such a good question. Hold on a second. So, do we need more Draymond? Help me through that again.
We need more Draymond being Draymond, but also less Draymond being
Okay,
Draymond.
that's
Yes.
a great poll question.
Yes.
Do we need more of Draymond being Draymond, but also less of Draymond being Draymond?
Needs to pick his spots.
It's a tricky line.
Okay, Billy, thank you for bailing out the show there, and this is why you are the wonder that you are, sir. And I have great remorse that what I worried about when I came in would be so.
I'm not dying, just so we're
No,
clear. We don't have to
it
get
looks.
all sappy.
What?
Yeah.
I still don't understand what really happened to your neck. How much pain are you in
I
right
got
now?
in a car accident.
I know, but what? How much pain are you in right
Well,
now?
HIPAA.
Okay.
They gave me medicine, so the
Oh,
medicine helps.
and when you're on drugs and you've been hit by a
No,
car,
that's-
it should be Wild Willie Wednesday.
Reckless.
It should be Wild Willie Wednesday. It should not be Amin and Mike talk about basketball.
No, we're in the middle of the NBA playoffs.
I know.
This isn't like
It was a great night.
If we were in October, I would kind of tend to side with you here, but like this
that's
is
not
it,
the
baby.
spirit.
This is what we
That's
worked
not
up
the
to
sp-
here.
Look, that is not the spirit of Wild Willie Wednesday.
Wow.
Where's my music? Where is Wild Willie Wednesday? I've been promised that Billy, Billy is a rising Meadowlark executive star.
Am I?
Everyone's a rising star at this company. Have y'all noticed that?
That's the thing. Is
Zaz is a
when
rising
everyone's
star.
a rising everything, really no one.
Billy's
is, and
a
that's the
rising
trick,
star.
yeah.
Okay, and look
Doesn't
at
Rose is
feel
a
like it
rising
sometimes,
star.
to be
so look
honest
at
with
what
you.
this company has done to him. He comes into work today feeling like he's been hit by a car.
No, I'm not feeling like that happened, but I was in a car. Technically, my car was hit by a car, but I was in the car.
a truck.
Also,
Dude, a Suburban, and the thing didn't barely even have a scratch. I saw it. It was honestly the best commercial for a Suburban I've ever seen in my entire life. To my detriment, obviously, because I don't know. I don't know how much damage a 2013 Hyundai Sonata can take.
Billy.
That they're eventually like, this is not worth
Billy,
repairing.
how are you not right
and
now?
now I'm gonna have to pay for a new car. It's a whole thing.
How are you
Jeez
not
Louise.
right now?
Bad
Just
time
as
to get a car.
I know. Thank you.
Wild Willie Wednesday.
That was you spitting into an aluminum cup.
I was a loogie.
It was. This is my first Wild Willie Wednesday.
Oh, is it? Oh, Mike's
welcome.
never. Oh,
No.
see, this is what
Welcome.
you ruined, Wild
It's-
Willie Wednesday. That's what happened.
It's
Nah.
basically any other day, but we just call it that.
I'm
No.
beginning to think it becomes Wilder Willie Wednesday specifically because I'm not usually here on Wednesday.
This is the whole thing.
Does he always wear this?
No, this is what's happening.
no.
It's
I
just
get hit every Tuesday,
no,
and it's a
and
whole.
no, it's
rinse,
not.
repeat.
It's he feels
HIPAA.
actually and metaphorically for the last 4 years that Meadowlark keeps hitting Billy Gill for 4 years, and now he's wearing a neck brace.
That feels like it is.
can we give a little props to someone who has took a lot of abuse for this, but turns out to be pretty prescient? Greg Cody.
Yeah.
He said, hey, man, coming in here is the traffic is what's going to get him to quit, right? And here's Billy. Traffic got him in a neck brace. Traffic is bad, Dan.
Dan,
Your employees are dying because of the traffic.
not yet, but
On the way.
Look, man.
Getting there.
Stugotz. I mean, poor Stugotz. Like, that's.
Look, it's your turn, your time to suffer it. I was driving up to Miami Gardens making dick for money. So, like, we're just on another part of the timeline right now.
How much money is
you
dick for
had
money?
your time. This is mine.
Do you guys realize that the only, like, Stugotz and I have made so few verbal deals that have been like totally kept to completion by Stugotz. But honest to God, Stugotz a long time ago, when he and I were at the beginning of this, had the conversation. And I'm like, Stugotz, eventually this is going to end up at the beach. Like, don't keep going that way. No more complaints about traffic the rest of our lives, okay? And we made a deal on the spot. And he never actually complained about the traffic, except today he came in really mad about the traffic. But the traffic is worse than it's ever been. Like, it's just our bejeweled dumpster of a city that keeps building stuff that's sinking into the ground near the airport and everywhere else. Stugotz has been getting stuck in so much traffic that today it took 2 hours. It took me 2 hours and 52 minutes to get to F1 race that was 20 minutes from my home. Now,
Wow.
I know that's F1.
I think you got lost. That's a whole thing.
I'm not buying
impossible.
traffic did that to you.
There's something. I don't
How are
know.
you not doing an ad for Suburban as the guy in a neck brace saying, I can vouch for this car?
Well, because at the
it
moment
struck
they're
him.
my adversary.
Yeah,
They did this to me.
No,
Struck him.
but you can make the money back by just saying, look how good this Suburban is. It hit
Someone's
me.
on that.
I was injured, and therefore I endorse this truck. And you get the money with an advertisement for how sturdy the truck is because it could survive the crash.
And
we're
that
in.
money's going to buy him a new car?
I don't
mean,
think you understand victimhood.
Yeah.
Like the Menendez brothers' parents didn't come out and like, you know what? Our sons, really good guys.
You got to pick up on what he's doing by not giving you much. The man's wearing a neck brace. He is laying the foundation.
I don't know how people find my number and reach out to me after an accident, but they did.
Yeah.
And just started reaching out to me.
Chevy
And I was like,
did?
What?
Anajar?
No.
If
I
I may,
said don't talk to Chevy.
if I may advise you, don't say another word.
I'm trying not to. I'm saying
It could
HIPAA
affect.
and
It could
Dan
affect
keeps
your
with this
whole hair.
thing.
Shout out to Anajar, by the way.
No, that was such a good line that flew across the sky. Anajar will take care of your every need. We know that. Proud sponsor of the Zaslow Show. Zaslow, rising star in the business.
I've had so much eye contact with Andajar as I pee.
Oh, at games, right?
Dude,
Every
just
urinal.
locked in.
Every
We're just
urinal.
locked in.
So hold on. Tell me if I've got this wrong, because people are always making fun of me because I say Miami is some experience in Miami isn't the experience somewhere else. This is a nationwide thing, right? Where everyone in the nation knows that if a local law firm is like spending giant money on sports advertising, that law firm in some places like Miami that are corrupt, sometimes the originators of this.
You need to be careful
Yeah,
here.
you better watch out.
These are-
Man. You going after lawyers? What are you doing?
Don't do that.
Look-
And we are very thankful for their patronage during our pirate phase.
And there's only one lawyer that we can go after with impunity. It's David Samson.
What about Rusty Harden and his hairpiece?
David Sampson's going to be here in moments. I am
Lucky us.
I'm a little worried about.
Wild Willie Wednesday.
Oh no.
Wild Billy Wednesday.
Regis Philbin gets free McDonald's for life. Featuring Hollywood showrunner and Le Batard intern Mike Schur.
This theoretical magic card that gives you free KFC for life. So my late father-in-law, Regis Philbin, had this for McDonald's. So he did an ad, I think, for McDonald's sometime in like the early 90s. And as part of the thanks for this, he was given like a gold, not real gold, but like a gold colored like credit card thing that said like this card entitles Regis Philbin to free McDonald's for life. And he loved this. And so when my wife was a child, they would be on like a car trip somewhere and he would see a McDonald's and he would get really excited and he would pull in to the McDonald's and he would go inside and he kept this thing with him in his wallet and he would rush up to the counter and they would order a bunch of Big Macs and stuff. And then he would go, look, I get free McDonald's for life. And then the cashier would just stare at it confused because it was like, what is this? Why is Regis Philbin in this random McDonald's demanding free $3 hamburgers? And they would go, I've never seen this before. I have to call someone. And then like, it would be this confusing thing. And eventually he would go, it's fine, just here. And he would just pay for the food. And it never worked because it was just a very confusing object because it's not a thing that anyone has.
Love the idea of that employee showing up to work that day.
Yeah,
that didn't come up in the
onboarding.
In the handbook.
Training. Yeah.
It's as if, though, honestly, if you think about it, it's as if a celebrity walked in and said, just with their hands, hey, I have this glowing orb. It entitles me to all your stuff for free.
Yeah. What are you supposed to do with that? And then who do you even call to see if this is real? And also, I like to believe that the card itself was more of a symbolic gesture. And then he was just like, no, this is great. I get free McDonald's. But then no one ever informed the thousands of employees around the globe that if you ever see this, you give this guy free food.
Classic Reg.
I wanna congratulate you, Mike Schur, and tell the audience now that you at Meadowlark Media have done such a good job as an intern on Stat of the Day that we are now promoting you to one Stat of the Day a day and also one Regis Philbin story a day now. So okay, we are going to do that going forward. Yes, Reg of the Day and Stat of the Day,
and we get to go through your house and sell your possessions.
Yes.
Well, but do you know how much
stuff we're done with Samson?
Yeah, wait a minute. Do you know how much stuff this guy has of Regis that we could sell for charity? Like this is I don't, but I feel like I feel like we could rummage through all his things and give it all away to charity.
We're turning this into like a Regis Philbin estate sale now. All of a sudden.
Do you have anything from Regis, Mike?
I have some things. They're I would call them family heirlooms that aren't for
Let's
sale.
sell them.
But yeah,
his daughter too.
The McDonald's card's still around? Or?
No, I've looked for the McDonald's card because I wanted to try it. And I wanted to see if I could find it, but I think it's long gone. I mean, it was like 30 years ago. But sure, yeah, sell whatever I've got in my house. It doesn't matter to
me. Billy, you lit up. You lit up at the idea of a McDonald's All Access card that Regis Philbin had one.
Well, because I'm glad that he told that story because that was going to be my exact question: was what happens when he actually tries to use it at a restaurant? Because there's no way that someone that's working behind the register was onboarded at McDonald's somewhere on a road trip in middle America. Like, in the event that Regis Philbin shows up, this is what you do when he presents the card to you.
They should present their employees with everyone who has the card, though, right? I mean,
no,
but it's gonna. But that's the problem. It's like, okay, it's Regis Philbin and Mikhail Gorbachev, and like it's probably like a dozen people who are never. 11 of whom are never going to go into a McDonald's. So,
all right, Mike.
Mr. Gorbachev, order me a hash brown.
All right, Mike. Read you the day.
Wait, sorry. Was that a tear down? Was that a Mr. Gorbachev tear down that wall parody?
That was limited fake Ronald Reagan. Yes.
So they went to McDonald's together in this situation?
Yes, they did. Thank you for dissecting that.
Can I say rest in power in this situation?
I think so.
I don't know.
Yeah.
He kind of ended the Soviet Union.
Well, then rest in power.
Well, no, the hockey game did that.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Mitt Romney has the McDonald's golden card, Mike. So does Bill Gates and Warren Buffett.
Warren Buffett, I could actually see using it.
Even goes there every day.
People unlikely to be going into a roadside McDonald's in like rural Pennsylvania.
Haven't you seen though that Warren Buffett is like crazy in that he This episode is presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
And here's David Samson scratching his eyebrows, already looking annoyed. I don't know why. Why, like, David, what do you come in, you look sour. Are you happy to be at work today?
I couldn't be happier. Wednesday's my favorite day. Coming on with you guys. Had a great Nothing Personal this morning. So much going on. I am jacked up and ready.
What was great about Nothing Personal today?
Oh, just being able to talk about what happened in Pittsburgh. So much of my audience was curious. And Stu, I'm sure you didn't hear the show during traffic, but you could have. But a lot of talk, though it's not rated anymore, so maybe it doesn't come on your feed.
Right.
But there was a fight between a game day employee and a fan. And that does not happen every day, and everything seems to be happening to Pittsburgh this season. It's been a nightmare for them.
There's a lot under the umbrella of everything seems to be happening in Pittsburgh, because we didn't even get to the story, is that a human being falling out of the stands?
Yeah, that was a human being who broke his back, neck, and clavicle.
Why are you laughing during that?
Oh,
Why would you laugh during that?
It was your transition, I think.
No, but broke his neck and clavicle, and what else? Like, you can't laugh when you're saying that.
What would you have given him, David? Like, what is the compensation had that happen when you were president?
So I got a funny one for you, Billy. Someone contacted me and said, would I pay for, in that situation, were I to be president of the team, all of his medical bills? And the answer was no. It wouldn't even be a thought of mine to pay the medical bills. What we did is provide first responder help immediately. Both team trainers were there. We made sure that he got to the hospital in the ambulance, and, a follow-up card with a little PR statement saying we're sorry and we hope you get better. But come on. It's not our responsibility. You can't fall out of the stands, no matter how jubilant you are, with a double by Andrew McCutchen. But don't worry, they did the investigation. He had 2 beers, only 2 beers.
Wow, so he was at fault. Is that why you would field teams that wouldn't get excitement out of the crowds and would jump out of the stands by accident?
How often do you see that exactly?
I just don't understand how you're sitting here giggling during you were legitimately giggling.
I was happy almost.
No, stop it. I'm not giggling about the fact that he broke his back and neck.
Look, if we went back and played this video right now, this is appalling.
You'd hear a giggle.
This is appalling, and you were appalling. You were absolutely giggling. I said we didn't even get to the video of a human being falling out of the stands, and you gleefully said, yeah, he broke his back, neck, and clavicle, and you were laughing about it.
So you accused me when we started 4 minutes late, saying, oh, you look down. Are you happy to be at work? And I was saying, I'm great. Like, everything's good. And then you're like, by the way, a guy almost croaked in the stands. I'm like, yeah, but he didn't. It was just neck, back, and clavicle.
Now we know why he's mad, Dan. I mean, 4 minutes
because you were
late.
4 minutes late.
No traffic.
When's the last time you were late, Samson? When's the last time you were late to anything?
I'm not late, but again, it doesn't matter. You have stuff to do. You have a show to run. I'm very happy.
Wait a minute. Are you ever late? What do you mean?
Very happy.
Tension here.
Yeah, you have stuff to do. I'm very happy.
Man, you're onboarding today, onboarding the show, onboarding me, and onboarding David. Let's turn the vibes
Pressing
around.
me on personal medical information.
It's appalling what he's saying. I want you guys to imagine, okay? David Samson runs the Pirates. A human being has jumped in a video to what could be their death. And instead, thankfully, it was only all these horrible things that will mean limping through the rest of your life, because those things aren't meant to be broken at one time. A horrible fall. How soon would you have arrived with paperwork and lawyers, and what would you have offered to get off the hook for what can possibly be there? As you say, 2 beers, you had 2 beers because you went straight to lawyer on, if you've had 2 beers, that broken back is your fault.
Oh, I would take the over on 2 beers, by the way, for that gentleman. But it doesn't matter, because I think he may have been underage, in which case it may have been an issue all the way around. So what I'm doing is I am looking for a settlement of some sort of some sort of monetary settlement very quickly in case there's a lawsuit that would come. This is not an autograph bat or ball situation. It's not a meet and greet. It's nothing like that. This is when you've got to bring out the checkbook and you've got to try to see what is going on with him and his family. But I would make it very clear that we were not at fault. The railings were set to code, that we did everything we were supposed to do, including responding to it immediately with life-saving care. But in this world of litigation, we'd have to settle at an amount. But no, I wouldn't want it much higher than 5 figures.
Can we play a game that I like to call If the Shoe Was on the Other Foot? So let's say David Samson was taking in a Pirates game, and he was there, and all of a sudden, the Pirates are doing well. You get excited, and whoop, whoop, you slip and fall onto the field. What does David Samson do?
First of all,
what are you laughing?
I've been really excited at games before. I don't know how if you look at the video of how it happened, and I don't want to assign blame, though that's what lawyers do. You actually do, in a negligence case, assign what percentage of blame each side has, and that's how you get informed as to what the monetary payment is. But it's impossible to look at that video and say that the Pirates were 100% to blame for what happened. And I don't know if you want to show the video or if we can. I don't want to get us in trouble.
No, we're good.
Because it's graphic. But at the end of the day, if you zero up into it, which we'd have camera angles and we'd have zoom capabilities, it was not like, hey, like doing the wave, like, ah, and then, oh, that's not how it happened.
I don't think you're playing this game right. I don't think that the shoe was on the other foot here. This is still very much lawyer speak.
Yes.
Like, I don't think
you want me to be the one on my back with raccoon eyes bleeding out of my ears and ask what I'd ask for?
I don't
just
want,
put the shoe on the other foot.
I don't want.
He just wants the shoe.
If you were, what would you do? Because I don't think that the approach you would take was, well, the railing is adequately high for me.
I would sue the Pirates. I'd sue MLB, and I'd sue the city of Allegheny, if that's a city or a county. I can't remember. And I love Pittsburgh, but of course I would sue everyone. I get a lawyer to do it on contingency, and my first offer would be for pain and suffering. I don't know if you saw this lawsuit, one of the great lawsuits of all time. A Colorado fan sued the NFL for $100 million for emotional trauma, pain, and suffering because Shedeur Sanders went in the 5th round.
Yeah, that's serious.
And it's a real lawsuit. I'm not making this up. Of course, it's not going to win, but I'm going to sue if I'm the one who falls out of the stand.
What's the small amount of money you're talking about? You arrive with a checkbook, the person's holding their neck and holding their clavicle, and they're on a stretcher being taken off, and you are literally saying $4,000.
No, I said 5 figures, Dan. That's 10 grand.
Okay, so 10 grand. You're whispering next to the stretcher. We'll give you 10,000.
No, I'm waiting to make sure he's not dead. So
because why waste 10 grand if the person's dead? You don't need to give a dead person 10 grand.
So wait a minute.
There's an estate.
So wait, hold on. So tell me how this transaction goes.
He's hoping for death.
That's what it sounds like, honestly.
I love Wednesdays.
No.
I'm not hoping
What are
for
Mike
death.
and Amin laughing about? What are Mike and Amin
Boris
doing?
is in the
Boris
conclave here.
and his really dark dyed beard.
Digital
is
conclave.
in
Whoa.
a virtual conclave.
Boris is a listener.
It's the first day of conclave,
Careful.
and I even have a chat devoted to this. You know who the favorite is? A Filipino.
Really? I believe Boris's beard is natural.
I do too. He's friend of the show, man.
Billy Wednesday.
David, if you were the Pirates, do you take advantage and say, hey, Clemente family, you want your name on this wall? Time to start paying up.
You don't actually think it's real.
Wait, which part?
It is
the
wild.
Clemente family and the issues with
the
the Pirates.
beard.
That is real.
This is ridiculous.
Well, they wanted their name on that wall. Now someone's fallen off of the wall. Now
Different part of the wall.
Clemente, you wanted it to be in on this pirate thing.
This is Brian Wilson levels.
Whose beard are you talking about, Mike?
The dude on CNN right now in
Boris.
the virtual
Boris
conclave.
Sanchez. Boris Sanchez is CNN.
Wow, Billy Wednesday.
We have, by the way, Dan, if you want to get to it later, we have a segment dedicated to the Papal Conclave.
We do?
Yeah, we
Why
do.
can't we just do it right now?
You want to go to the green screen?
Wait
I
a
don't know
minute.
where I'm
What do
supposed to do it.
you mean where you're supposed to do it? It's Wild Willie Wednesday. You're
I'll go over
supposed
there.
to.
Yeah, I don't know if we
Do
set
whatever
up
you
an
want.
image. I'll be over there.
Wait a minute. Okay, so just explain to me how Wild Willie Wednesday
just
works. What kind of producing is that?
It's his day,
You've
man.
been hit by a car? Like
A truck as
Billy,
a fine.
Billy, I need your help today.
He is helping you.
Right.
He's going to our own virtual conclave.
He's doing a bit.
So no,
The only way to make this work, Stu, is that you have to put some dye in your cigarettes that has white smoke and black smoke.
Yeah.
And that the conclave only ends when you are dragging from
can
a
we
heater.
please do that?
And out comes
Can
black
we please
smoke.
do
No,
Black Smoke Pope Wednesday?
no, Stu, do not do that. I'm going to be your lawyer here.
Thank you.
Don't do that.
Okay, I need some help, Chris. You got to grab the reins on this. All right, Wild Willie Wednesday is. I don't think Wild Willie.
Wild Billy Wednesday.
Okay, did we not do any production meetings that asked on Wild Willie Wednesday whether or not Wild Willie actually wanted Samson around? Because Wild Willie is the only person in our show's history to have won a debate with David Samson. Ariel Helwani and a whole bunch of other people argued with David Samson, but they all got emotional. And the only one who actually won one time, David Samson's only talk loss as a lawyer blabbermouth who could talk his way out of anything, was to Billy Gill on our air because Billy Gill never got emotional. That happened. I saw it happen. Billy grew up right in front of our...
There was that one time David got science wrong.
Yeah.
I remember that.
I get things wrong all the time, Dan.
I know.
So but it is fun to deal with people who are emotional. It is not difficult at all.
All right.
That's for sure.
Okay, so...
You're very emotional.
Yes,
Dan.
I am. I wish I were less emotional. That would be better for everybody involved.
So do I.
That's why Billy's neck is broken, because he's been hit by a Suburban.
Yeah.
Billy, what is Wild Willie Wednesday in that room? Tell me. Let's ride this bucking bronco into riches and glory.
Okay, well, Dan, so there's, I don't know if you're aware of this, there's a Papal Conclave going on right now. So, Chris, if you can, we have intro music. We have a new segment. It's called All the Smoke.
This is a ridiculous aesthetic for you, Billy. I know it's unintentional, and I'm sorry that you went through that, but it is helping the bit.
You can't call it All the Smoke.
Welcome to All the Smoke. I'm Billy Gill with your latest update on the Papal Conclave. At this moment, there is no new pope. Back to you.
Thank you. We'll be checking in. Excellent on Wild Willie Wednesday.
Your neck brace like a papal collar.
Can we please change the name of that segment, Dan?
Why?
Oh, I don't know. I think that maybe there's another name that we can use than All the Smoke.
I think we should do All the Smoke, and I think Stugotz should wander in smoking heaters.
Let's call it Conclave.
What kind of update are we going to get here in the next few minutes, and how mesmerizing is the beard?
Well, I texted Boris, and we're going to get an update pretty soon on whether the beard is or is not dyed.
It is.
Thank you.
What, I don't care what Boris says. It is.
You know what? I don't think Mike gets enough credit here as a real industry leader he is the breaking news leader throughout sports and maybe entertainment on, hey, that person's things are fake.
Not hard to do that, Dan, when you accuse everybody of dyeing their beard.
Well, but he's never been
He's
wrong.
usually right.
I've been wrong once.
No.
When?
Yeah, you know me. I'm
Twice.
Well, yeah, David, I asked David. I was curious, and I'm still not so sure. Noted liar. But Jeff Passan, I got that one wrong.
Wow.
I got that one wrong. And
Okay.
like he FaceTimed me, he walked me through it, and he's actually updated me when grays have started peeking through.
Walk
So,
you through it how?
He took offense to it, which if I weren't dying, I would hit me up directly.
You're dying?
No. It's very funny. You're very sharp.
you
Wild Willie
okay?
Wednesday. I kind of like it.
Oh, you've never been invited.
No, but Jeff Passan got the FaceTime and he walked me through the follicles, and I had that one wrong, and I made an on-air correction because I'm the first person to admit when I'm wrong, but I'm
Go
also
talk
the
to
first
Jesse.
person to admit when I'm right.
Go talk to Jessie. She knows for a fact that I don't dye my hair.
Look, you let the beard
Fact,
go.
huh?
When you let the beard go, you lean into the gray. It's very odd that it just decides to stop with the sideburns. A lot of people are like J.D. Vance, where it just starts at the sideburns, and you got to try to figure it out. You're an oddity in that way. You're an oddity in a lot of ways.
That's you. I'm just asking. Ask the hair makeup people. Ask anyone who makes me look like I look today.
I saw
And
it.
hair dye is
Okay.
not one of the
One
things.
and a half times. Again, I got a hedge against your just noted reputation for lying.
Everyone else, basically, unless they give you a walkthrough of their hair, you're going to assume you're right?
I know Boris is dyeing that beard.
I don't know.
How old is
I
Boris?
don't think so.
How old is Boris?
I don't know, around my age, probably from the 40s, early
Come
40s.
on, come on, man. I mean,
Okay, Mike, you're an industry leader. Yes or no, Mike Ryan? Wait a
Boris
minute.
is 39.
Yeah, okay, he's dyeing it.
Wow.
Samson, look, we're in the information
Is
business.
he straight edge?
We're in the information business. Jeff Passan is an information insider. Only in media now, the information guys are the ones being paid. Mike Ryan is an industry leader in, hey, your shit's fake. And no one else breaks more stories in this regard anywhere in sports.
Dan, this is like saying that Senator McCarthy was an industry leader in catching communists. If everyone's a communist, then yeah, of course,
All right,
he's
no,
an
but he's
industry
not
leader.
wrong.
He's a volume
he's
shooter,
not
is what I
wrong.
mean to
He's
say.
not-
Everyone knows this is my
rough for me.
This is my beat. I'm a volume shooter because no one can spot it as many times as I can. I'm the guy. And it's Botox, it's filler, it's teeth, it's everything, all right? It's not just limited. In fact, don't put me in just the hair dye box. Don't put me in that. I literally have, Ozempic is, kind
Oh,
of
no, he
touch
doesn't
and go.
just do hair dye. He does teeth. He does also an assortment of body parts.
Yeah.
He's a thorough reporter.
I don't want to do Ozempic because you never know. Like, I'll be up front and honest. I did semaglutide 2 years ago.
Right.
But this time, slimmed down all natural. Just replicating it by
All right,
chugging
no
water.
one likes to hear it said that way.
What? Yes, it does.
No one liked au natural. Come on.
Have you seen the photos of Diddy?
Look,
That guy was running a con for decades.
I never would have
Decades.
guessed. I'll be honest, I never would have guessed.
that was his con.
That was it. Yeah, that was it.
Well, I was referring. Well, I hope most people assume the con was a larger thing, but also, additionally, I mean, he was dyeing his hair like every day.
A side con?
Guys, we're on the hair beat. We're not on any other beat.
I'm not on the human trafficking.
We're on the hair beat.
Yeah, and by the way, I can't play fast and loose with human trafficking. I need more evidence.
The Pope.
Wait a minute.
When are the updates coming on the Pope? It doesn't seem like David likes the Pope. Can we do another segment of all the smoke?
David, you don't like
David
the Pope?
doesn't like the Pope.
Well, there
is no Pope
there is
right
no
now.
Pope right now.
First of all, there is no Pope. Second of all, I said I don't like the name.
Why?
I don't think we can go with all the smoke. I wanted to change the name in the best interests of Metalark to a different name for the segment where we announce at the end of each day through one of Stugotz's heaters whether or not there's been a Pope chosen.
I just got a text back, not from Boris, but from Dom Kang. He says, the entirety of the smoke. The entirety of it.
It's not as terrible, I mean. And Stugotz, the only problem with this is that you have to stay longer throughout the day because the conclave at the end of the day, they decide whether they got one or not. They do a vote, which you know from watching the movie, which I'm sure you watched. But the time difference is such that you'd have to stay until about 1 o'clock Eastern time. And I know that can be problematic.
Samson, just out of curiosity, because they're sitting here saying,
Ooh, what about Holy Smoke?
Holy Smoke is better.
Now we're talking.
I like all the smoke.
Well, Holy Smoke was also a movie, so that's not our IP.
Aren't we friends with all the smoke?
Yes,
Did I not
always.
ask that?
Well, except for Paul Pierce, who's occasionally around that show.
Yeah, what's going on with the
He
two
can go
of
kick
you?
rocks. I told him to his face
Yeah.
routinely.
While also boycotting him and going to other places to not see his face.
No, don't do that to me. No one has told Paul Pierce sucks more to his face
That's
than
true.
me.
No,
I've done that multiple
okay,
times.
congratulations.
I've done that multiple. I ain't ducking Paul Pierce. When I
That's
duck out of
true.
here, it's because I can't stand the sight of the man.
Oh.
He happens to be, Mike, a great guy
No,
in real life.
he's not. He's not.
He
He's
is a
not.
great
He's
guy.
no, he's not.
He's a dear friend.
He's a terrible
He's a
basketball
fun
player
guy.
and a worse person.
No, he's actually not. And a little nugget about Paul Pierce. He likes when you call him daddy.
Okay, I didn't know that part.
Well,
maybe
in
I'm
what
not.
context
Maybe-
are you spending time
TMI.
with Paul Pierce?
Maybe
us
I'm
more,
not
David.
as good a friend of Paul Pierce as I once thought.
What is this loon giggling about?
How about thank you for smoking?
What do you mean? He likes when you call him daddy. What kind of contribution is that? You grinning fool?
Are you fucking Paul Pierce, David?
What? Yeah, but wait, what's that? What are you snorting in the middle of the segment where you're saying that about Paul Pierce? What's the matter with you?
Answer the man's question.
Answer it.
Calling someone daddy and making sweet, passionate love are two totally different things.
Yes or no?
Wednesday.
Sometimes I go.
I'm
Not
a
talking about
hard
love.
no on that.
Put it on the poll.
You're hard.
Put it on the poll, Juju.
Ayo.
is making sweet, passionate love and calling someone daddy different.
I don't even understand what you just did there, Samson. Please, I've got 2 questions for you, okay? And they're important. Answer them honestly. Honestly. Why did you do that?
Which part, Dan?
All right, start with, let me go back for a second, okay? Because
the beginning?
To you boning Paul Pierce.
Yeah, no, I'd like to get away from that. Thank you.
Could be a cuck
No,
situation.
I mean,
He could
come
just be
on.
watching.
This is horrific.
You like the chair?
see that.
You like the chair?
What you?
David could
All
see that.
right,
it
here
sounds
we
like.
go. Here we go. This is what I was afraid of.
Wild Willie Wednesday.
I don't want all the smoke.
Wild Billy Wednesday.
I don't want all the smoke with Paul Pierce. Yes, Mike wants to fight Paul Pierce. Mike was going to go do a party a year ago, 2 years ago, where he showed up to Paul Pierce's party in a wheelchair. No one has done more in Paul Pierce's face to tell him he sucks on behalf of Miami than Mike Ryan. That is true. That cannot be disputed. Paul Pierce doesn't want that smoke. He hasn't wanted that smoke. And frankly, I think Mike Ryan has accused him of veneers.
And he dyes his hair to his face.
Wow.
To his face. And he hasn't denied it. He wore it. He wore it. He wore it like a champ. He's like, you got me.
It's a winning move.
Bought me
though.
small credibility
Look,
there.
you wear veneers is a great move, and it's a real humbler in debate.
I mean, they're not doing it for people not to notice,
No, but
right?
the other
what is the con they're trying to prove? Like, oh, my teeth got better on their own? Like, get out of here. Like, you got the veneers. I'm going to call them out. Don't deny it. Don't.
It's
Don't
unnecessary.
BS me.
It's too vain of you to tell everybody, I see your fake teeth. It's
Can't
unnecessary.
BS a BSer. I've got one cap.
Samson, the other question I wanted to ask you, noted liar. When you point at Stugotz and you say of this Papal series that everyone is watching, Conclave, Stugotz, which I'm sure you've watched. When you tell Stugotz, I'm sure you've watched it, you say it with the smugness of knowing
I watched.
He's with the smugness of he wasn't listening to you. You know he wasn't listening to you. And when you say, Stugotz, I'm sure you've watched, you're lying.
No, that's called sarcasm.
Yes. I got
Totally different than line. But I if you'd like to conflate the two, then we can. But what I was saying is Stu is so busy doing God knows what. Although he's got a lot of time.
God bless football. Not God knows what. It's God bless football.
God knows.
Yeah.
God knows football.
Jesus.
What is the matter with you? It's God bless football. It's not.
God knows what.
It's a totally different podcast.
I'm
on
sorry,
that, though.
I had
I
bad
like it.
information, Stu. I thought that you had started God knows what.
God knows what is a
that's
totally
next.
better
Yes.
podcast. Billy, buy the domain name before ESPN steals it from you.
God knows what.
ESPN's not who I'm worried about stealing it from me.
Let's do it. Is it Samson you're worried about stealing it from you?
I already own it.
What do you mean, while we were talking?
God knows what.
I'm very busy right now.
What do
Wait,
mean?
you have
Wait
it?
a minute. You bought the domain name God knows what to compete against God bless football right now?
Hey, Brett, I'm on the air live. Could you please go by God knows what the domain name?
You said
please?
you already did it.
Go get that.
You said
I'm
you
talking
already
to
did
1,
it.
2, 3, Brett live right now. There he is. God knows what. Please go secure that.
I better secure
Thank
an
you very
entirety of
much.
the smoke right now.
You know that scene in Pulp Fiction? Check out the big brain on Brad. But Samuel L. Jackson, by mistake in that scene, mixed up the name of the character. He calls him both Brad and Brett.
Wow.
Can one of you please put up on the poll here, at Le Batard Show, is making sweet, passionate love and calling someone daddy different? 58% so far say yes. That means we already put that up on the poll.
Yes. Yeah, well, Amin asked for it, so that was quick work.
Okay.
That's what we do. You
Wow.
ask for something to be on the poll.
I'm not used to things happening that quickly around here. Because
We have an answer.
Quickly.
Do we own it? It's taken.
God.
Yes, way to go, Billy. You're
Good job, Brad.
You won one against
God knows what.
Check out the big brain on Brad.
God knows what.
That's right, Dan Le Batard. I got the domain before anyone could move expeditiously on it. Don King, strictly in the United States.
It's
I thought that was Baby Billy.
He's got something in his mouth this time.
it was slobbery.
Whoa.
It was slobbery. And
I was excited.
That was funny.
Your baby Billy's pretty good. I didn't know you did one of those.
I did for Halloween.
Samson, you're bothering people here because what?
Here we go. Once again. Just
transition.
Dan, what
Transition.
Why?
I think this one's gone pretty well. I mean, he told us he's banging Paul Pierce. So
Yeah.
this is revelatory.
The truth.
called Brett.
I'm sick and tired of your criticisms, Dan. Just stop having me on the show then. If every week it's like, all you do is you ruin the show. You listen to your 3 haters out there. You ruin the show.
There's more of us than 3.
You married this, David.
Yeah.
so-
Do you have a review or
Stu,
something?
Believe me, I've got divorce attorneys at the ready.
You got a review for us or something?
What are you talking
I do.
about?
Speaking of divorce.
No, you want
Anything.
You want to get rid of him?
No. I just want to, not default to he sucks. I mean, we've covered that ground.
He seems to not be having a lot of fun right now, Dan,
It's
so-
a Wild Willy Wednesday,
Yeah,
and
out of
I'm not
courtesy
usually
to
here
him.
on Wednesday. And you know what I've missed out on? All the David Samson reviews, and he actually has got quite good taste.
We
when-
rarely get to them. It's a lot
Really?
of just the criticism.
Oh,
It's been something, Billy. It's been I've had 4 weeks in a row of not getting to the review. This one hit hard though. I don't know if anyone watched the 4 seasons, the 8 episodes.
I've seen the
series.
I've seen the first half of it because it's got so many good people in it, and they're trying, but the writing seems a bit stiff and predictable.
So the part that really hit home is when Steve Carell leaves his wife for a younger woman and tries
Spoiler
to bring
alert.
the younger woman in on the couple's trip, and it ends up becoming sort of a nightmare in all sorts of ways. So I resembled some of this show while also longing for the days of Alan Alda, because it's based on a movie that Alan Alda did back in 1981, and that many people I'm sure haven't heard of. And the concept is if you go away with the same 4 couples every year, and of course they updated it because now one of the couples is a gay couple with Coleman Domingo, and it's updated from the movie. And it's fantastic in that regard because couples can't go away and get along year after year because things change and marriages change and relationships change. And if you can find people you actually like to travel with, you got to hold on to that as long as you can, because there are many, many people who are not compatible in that way. And this series talks about how you go through changes in people's lives while still trying to stay together as a group of friends.
I haven't liked the first half of it. Would you recommend it?
No, not unless you're divorced with a younger girlfriend. So if you're in that category, then I would do it. If you're not in that category, you can skip it. Or if you're older, you dye your hair and you're thinking of getting divorced because you want to be with a younger girl, then you should watch the last 4 episodes.
All right.
Or if you're already with a younger girl, then you can watch the last 4 episodes.
Younger woman.
Woman, thank you, sorry.
Yes.
Depends how young, I suppose. But I would go for a woman, David.
David, if someone went beyond breaking their neck at Marlins Park and died falling out of the bleachers, would you attend their funeral?
No. No.
David.
And we
What
would
if you
make
knew
sure
the
that wouldn't
person?
happen because no one was ever in the bleachers.
It's a fair point.
Okay, but I'm saying that if something happens on your watch and that person dies, is that forgive me, Chris? I didn't. It just broke out of nowhere. It just broke out.
to remind you to do that.
I've already done it. I've never done it twice in a segment.
Every time if they mention Paul Pierce again, you say the truth.
I've never done it twice.
It's a wild David.
No, that was amazing to watch in person where Mike just throws Stugotz a lasso. Stugotz catches it 2 seconds late, and Stugotz's reaction to Mike was, I did the watch, kind of bored and 2 seconds too late 10 minutes ago, and you didn't catch it.
We all laugh.
You don't want to do a Pearl Jam Thursday set. I need the Saturday set.
Well, can we talk about this for a second? Because if you and Samson had this argument, Have you and
No. Look, Pearl Jam's entitled to do whatever they want with their shows. They want to play the same city 2 times and do a shitty set list one night. That's their prerogative, and it's my prerogative to be disappointed by it and just be disappointed that, frankly, I picked the wrong night.
All right, no, but wait a minute. You've calmed it down, but you came in here with.
Well, they should be arrested for what they did to me. I mean,
They gave you nothing on Thursday.
You seen my travel schedule lately? I had to carve out time for that.
Dan, we've got an update.
Oh, boy.
From not quite the Conclave, but from close to it. Boris Sanchez has checked in.
Oh, man.
And he is denying all allegations.
No. Oh, my God.
Saying absolutely bleeping not, studio lights and shadows make it look dark. And he sent photographic evidence of such. I'm trying to get it uploaded right now into the system to let everyone know he's got, because the picture I'm looking at here, I'm seeing some grays, Dan.
Yeah, that's admirable of them, and I will wear it. I am constantly – the trickiest thing about doing this beat is the Turner lights. The Turner lights are a problem. Watching Kenny Smith is ridiculous. We all know that one. What? But watching their NHL coverage, I'm constantly asking, is Biz dyeing his beard? And he's constantly blaming the lights. Now, Lundqvist has tried to use that as an excuse too. Yeah. But – get out of here with that.
Look at this, Mike.
Yeah, he's got plenty of grades. Like if I saw that on TV, but
that's pre-dye job.
So hold on,
Pre-DJ.
that's live. That's a live shot.
No, it's not live. He's wearing a T-shirt there.
Yeah,
He
that's
was
what
just in the Conclave.
He
in
just
a suit.
he's off air now. That's what's happening.
Did they touch it up in post?
But here's the question. Mike, does this now give us 2.5 times you've been wrong?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Look, if the lights fool me, the lights fool me. But I mean, the larger point is, I know that beard can't be that naturally dark. Now, it was the lighting in the studio, and straight up, thank you, Boris, for your honesty. You've got grays, way to lean in. Had that one wrong. But the general sentiment was, it's impossible for his beard to be that dark at that age. So there was something going on there. It was just television performance enhancing.
Can I give Boris a piece of advice?
Sure.
Dye your beard. Looks terrible.
What?
Yeah, honestly.
He
You should
actually-
dye it. If people are going to accuse you of dyeing it and you're just looking...
Might as well.
Look bad just to prove them wrong, just dye it. Who cares?
Well, here's my thing, though. But, Mike, how many times have you accused people of dyeing their beard and maybe it was just studio lighting the whole time?
It might have happened. I could have been wrong more than 2.5. But let me tell you something. Like accuracy-wise, this is still over 99%. I'll stack my credibility up against anybody's in this game.
You know what? Hold on a second. Because Mike's doing this thing where he's being a different kind of journalist these days, hybrid journalist. What I'm telling you...
Non-journalist. Insider.
No, but this is... Look, whatever the journalism insider business is, that is Jeff Passan and Adam Schefter and Jay Glazer risking mental health issues and Woj to get you the information first on a Wild Willie Wednesday. I can't believe that Mike's not giving you any of his sources here because he's not giving up his sources. And what no one knows is that Mike, this has been part of the Meadowlark budget. Mike has on staff a forensic sort of expert who works with us every day and can vet these things out. And after much research, and I'm sorry to do this to you, David, Jesse, I think Jesse might be able to prove for us that your hair, that's fake what you're doing up there. You'll claim all the time that it's real, and you were not one of the places where Mike got it wrong.
No,
You're 100% wrong. This is not a hill you want to die on.
Yep.
You don't want to test this because you will lose. And I have already. Thank you, Stu. God, you're supposed to let it go. You're supposed to just let it go.
No, I believe David because
maybe it's studio lighting in David's house.
Perhaps. No, it just look. I've gotten right up there while David's talking to people,
Down there.
I've seen the. Yeah, down there. And I've seen the back. I'm like, the coloring's a little off.
Daddy.
But I don't understand.
Please stop doing that. Just please. What are you doing?
He would go all the way with it. He would go. That was a short joke, not a.
I would never.
No, he did it again with the daddy. He's creeping me out with the daddy and the grin.
Do you call Paul Pierce daddy when you see him? Like, hey, daddy.
Again to fucking Paul Pierce?
No one said anything about that. Just ask because he said he likes to be called daddy. I'm just asking if he calls him that. Yeah.
He likes to be called daddy, so I call him daddy. What's the big deal?
No, see, this is
what?
Oh, sorry.
Not that time.
My bad.
This is Jesse. Get in here, Jesse. Get in here. I don't believe anything that's happening here. Look, Samson's got this cone, this helmet of dye hair. Like this is a helmet. This is a baseball helmet of black hair. No one ages this way. He's in his late 50s. You don't get gray. Have you guys seen a lot of gray in the beard, totally gray beard, and then not a gray hair in the black? I don't know whether David Samson is or isn't dying or lying, but Mike Ryan, are you willing to stake your information journalistic?
I know that David doesn't dye his hair. He doesn't dye his beard either. I believe him when he says this. I believe him.
But you got Jesse right here.
I don't understand. Like, I believe him. Like,
why would you believe him when you have somebody that hasn't more of an?
Hopefully, she can co-sign
more.
This is high drama, man. We got a witness for the state that comes in.
What kind of journalism are you doing where you say I believe him? And we have.
I'm doing actual journalism. I've gotten up in there. What kind of journalism are you doing right there? You're trying to attack me for my sources. I've reported. I initially had reported that David Samson dyes his hair. Then I did my own inspection, and after more thorough investigation, I retracted the report and corrected it like a true insider.
Then why is it only a half? Why didn't that count as a full?
Because
wrong?
you're a noted liar, and I cannot discount the fact that you're just conning me.
Right. He has to leave room in the event that you are indeed lying. Right.
You got to hedge. You're a special case.
Yes, that's what he does.
What does it happen when noted liar Samson meets noted liar Stugotz? And we're trying to do an investigation here, and Samson can tell you. Jesse is on staff, and she would reveal to you the people who make the makeup cost the most are David Samson and Mike Ryan. What are you shaking your head about?
Dan.
What are you what?
For the 15 days a year that I'm in the studio, you're allocating the majority of the makeup budget to me?
I don't know what she paints you with.
A lot, whatever it is.
And I don't know if it's your hair. God knows if you go in there and you just have like orange hair that she paints every day with whatever lacquer she puts on your head.
Can I just, before Jesse takes a stand, note that a lot of, makeup artists have to sign NDAs. So it's possible that she's not going to tell us the real information that David has already silenced her because she'll have big clients and can't really give us all of the info here.
David does strike me as the kind of guy who takes the extra step of making someone sign an NDA before they work on him.
What can the
I'm glad I strike you as that, Amin, but it's just not quite the case.
You're a noted liar.
By who, Dan?
Everybody.
Are you speaking on behalf of my kids, my ex-wife? Like, who are you talking on behalf
everybody.
of?
Miami-Dade County taxpayers.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Taxpayers.
Marlins,
That's a good one.
Marlins fans.
Yep.
Oh, another good one. Thank you, Mike. Anyone else?
So why?
They are literally thousands.
Thousands.
Tens of thousands.
Tens of thousands.
Millions.
Hundreds of thousands.
Well, that's just the taxpayers.
States.
Marlins fans, there's about scores.
You
Countries.
You object to the reputation that you have as a noted liar?
I don't have that reputation except when I'm lucky enough and thankful enough to do your show because I feel such gratefulness toward you.
Talk to my
for
agent
painting
Lou.
me that way.
Thanks, Jesse. Go with his he has it figured out, it's $1.37 because he orders the exact same thing every day and pays to the penny so that he doesn't get change.
Yeah, there's a lot of stories about him like that. That he still doesn't he, or maybe it's all the Walmart. I can't remember. It's all the Walmart guys used to fly coach everywhere, and it's like a drive old pick. Sam Walton used to drive like an old beat up pickup truck. Like, I don't know.
Hold on a second, though. Juju is saying that J.J. Watt has a golden Chipotle card.
Wow.
A lot of athletes have those, Dan. It's a thing now, or it was a thing in like 2010. Then the whole norovirus thing happened. Chipotle kind of dropped off a little bit. I still ate there though that entire time.
I thought all the Subway athletes got those for Subway. Like every time you see a Subway commercial, they get the Subway card.
You should ask Golick. Didn't he do a whole Subway thing?
Mike?
I left you hanging there. I'm
All
so
right,
sorry.
Mike, we will
Thanks, Stu.
By the way, I'm a goal. Actually, you host a show with them. I don't know.
So do you.
This sound is 5 minutes overdue. Everything about this segment has been. Dialing up a Regis Philbin anecdote to knowing the exact change for Warren Buffett, Walmart guys flying coach, everyone here.
Are aliens real? With Jeremy Corbell, host of Weaponized.
Now, this guy's making sense so far, but I just want to know, I'm a little skeptical when it comes to this stuff, so I'm going to let you guys know at the end of this where this guy falls on my kook meter. I just want to throw that out there. I don't want to be disrespectful. My name's Chris.
Chris, hold on. Let me ask you something. Extraordinary evidence requires what? Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence, right? You're one of those guys.
That's right.
Okay, cool. So I believe that extraordinary claims, that they require evidence. I think it's extraordinary that people don't know the evidence. So it's not your fault. Skepticism is good. I am more skeptical than you know. We've never met, Chris. But here's the deal, brother. If you are not caught up, that's not my fault. That's yours.
Meter's moving.
Let's get you caught up right now.
He's calling you ignorant, and
no, not at all. What I'm saying is that the stigma is so vast. It's in our military. The stigma is what causes lack of information. We are in a data-rich environment when it comes to UFOs, but the public, the general person, taking their kids to school, paying their bills, it's a data-poor environment, and it doesn't need to be that way. So let's get there, Chris.
You're in a pink room with a safe and a typewriter.
I am. Pink is my favorite color. You busted me, and I don't know what you're talking about the safe.
Is there an alien in that safe, or
what? An alien?
Can't confirm nor deny what's in the safe. Sorry.
What is the evidence? What evidence do we have?
Okay, so it depends what you're talking about. Like, on what level do you want evidence? I've released military-filmed, Pentagon-confirmed, UFO-designated footage. I mean, you're talking about craft that do things that we can't do. I'll give you one example, because if you want evidence, how long a show we got? Very simple. Commander David Fravor off the west coast of California in 2004, he engaged an object, a craft of unknown origin. He was tasked and set out there on a training mission. When he went out there, he observed, but not only that, Commander Chad Underwood filmed what we now know as the Tic Tac UFO. This object had abilities far beyond thousands of years of what we're supposed to have right now in the US. We know it was not US. We know it was not China. We know it was not Russia. Whose was it? This craft was able to drop from 80,000 feet, actually above that, because that's the scan volume of the radar system they were using. It could drop above 80,000 feet, so from outer space, all the way down to sea level like that in less than a second. Now you tell me what we have that does that. That's tracked on radar. That's tracked on satellite. That's tracked on the ASA system on the pilots. And we have visual confirmation from 5 pilots. So you tell me, whose machine is that? That's the extraordinary evidence for the extraordinary claim that there are objects out there we don't understand.
Mike McClung is proof, right?
Mac.
Who's that?
Mac McClune.
Matt McClung.
The guy who won the dunk contest.
Nailed
the
it.
tiny white
Double
guy.
fine.
Yeah.
Double fine.
Yeah.
Oh, man, all I watch is jujitsu.
He's an alien.
And movies. I don't know anything about sports. I'm sorry.
Whatever the fuck his name is.
It's okay. It's all right. It's not
Jeremy, what do they want? The aliens. The aliens.
Okay, but you're making an assumption now. So what do you call an alien? Something that is unknown to you, you say is alien to you. If you're talking about beings from another planet, you're making a leap in logic, which I don't know yet if that's true. Although I do suspect by the types of propulsion systems that are documented from our military that they do come from somewhere else. So they will be alien to you. They will be alien to me. But I don't know exactly what that means. What do they want? That was your question. How could I know that? I don't even know what I want.
It's fair.
The podcast series.
What are you on for? I mean,
it's called Weaponized. His show explores strange phenomena, UFOs.
He just blinked for the first time in this entire interview.
Did. Yeah.
Cover
I'm not an alien.
Conspiracies.
That's exactly what an alien would say.
Hard evidence related to the paranormal, cutting edge science, big time crimes.
Do you think that there is we obviously know more than what we've released, and as of a few years ago, we've declassified all this, and we've totally acknowledged there are things out there that we don't understand that can do things we can't explain. But do you think a part of this is being withheld from the public now just because so many deities would be confused by this and would not know where to go, and us as a species right now, we couldn't handle the truth?
Well, first of all, we can handle the truth. We have a right to know and need to know, and I feel a duty to find out. But is there a cover-up? Okay, so that's what I'm talking about. Like, this is not theoretical. We have documents from the CIA, from the FBI. This is a historic cover-up. Nobody wants to admit that there is a technology out there that is far more superior than the greatest supernation that we know on planet Earth. So you're asking me, is there a cover-up? Man, they cover up how much they spend on a toilet seat at the Pentagon. So you're asking me if there's a cover-up about UFOs? Yeah, the answer is effing yes.
You know what? My boy's cooking right now. Let my boy cook. I'm with him.
He is cooking.
I don't understand. I don't understand that reference. Can you explain that?
You're spitting.
That's me. It's Tony.
That was Tony. That's a fine.
Yeah, sorry. It's okay.
So it's a
I don't know
different
that reference or what it means.
I'm saying I'm with you, brother. That you're cooking right now with gas.
Yeah,
you're cooking with
he
gas
says
right
that he's
now.
with you,
Right.
that you're preaching.
You're not a kook.
Yeah, he lost his voice. Pardon him. He has a Cuban voice box, and it was really dry in Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
Is that Dan?
No, I'm Dan, and we've got an assortment of clowns parading around us.
That's good. That's good. Look, guys, I really appreciate you want to cover this topic. We kind of have fun with it, right? Everybody's like, oh, man, this is kind of crazy. The thing is that it might be the biggest story of our time. In fact, I'm pretty sure it is. It's either that there are beings that are non-human, so non-human intelligence engaging humanity, or we have some sort of deception program where we're being led to believe that. Now, that is much less likely, much less, because it would be coordinated over generations. So it's good to have fun with this, but let's be honest. Isn't this curious?
Super. And if this technology is out there and can do things, and this is just one ship, then one would make logical assumptions that if they have this type of technology, they have technology to do worse. Why haven't they? Why are they just observing?
Playing with their food.
Why is everything... it's a lot of people get skeptical of UFOs because it's a lot like Bigfoot in that, okay, but nobody can get me a crystal clear image of this.
Nothing like Bigfoot.
No, but
we have so many photos and images, and the Pentagon confirmed, and we have military pilots that come forward with footage, radar, sonar, thermal, everything. There's nothing like
And
Bigfoot.
I've seen the videos that you're mentioning, but still, you referred to it as a Tic Tac because it appears as a Tic Tac. There's still, what we have out there, people can still dismiss as that's got to be something else. There isn't the one great holy grail piece of footage where you can see definition in these things. And
that you've seen. But hold on.
Is that what's in the safe?
That's what's in the safe.
Okay, check it out. Let me give you something. So why is it called the Tic Tac UFO? This is freaking hilarious. So the guy that filmed it is named Commander Chad Underwood. He was under Commander David Fravor, who was head of the Black Aces. And when they engaged this UFO for the military, the guy comes back from filming this, and the stigma is so bad. So the guy's asking him, kind of in the CIC, they call it, which is the Combat Information Center. They're saying, so what did it look like? And all this guy's thinking is like, if I tell him, it's going to sound crazy. So he started thinking about 80s movies. And he's like, Airplane. I remember that movie. And there's this great scene in Airplane where they're describing a plane. And he's like, it's cylindrical. It looks like, I don't know, a Tylenol with wheels. And he was like, I can't say Tylenol. That's too crazy. So he's like, looks like a Tic Tac, sure. So that's how it got the famous name, the Tic Tac UFO, because it was oblong. It was this kind of a chalkboard white, or kind of like drawing board white. And it was just an unbelievable machine that could do maneuvers that seemed immune to inertial effect. And what that means for people as about my level of smartness, which is I had to learn what inertial means. I looked it up on Google. But it's like the idea that it can move instantaneously without deceleration or acceleration. So this thing is going ping-ponging. Like imagine you take a glass of water or you take a glass that's empty and you put a ping pong ball inside and shake it around.
Hey, what's up, Le Batard fans? It's your girl, Roz Goldenwood with Good Follow Show. And this week on Good Follow, WNBA preseason has begun. And so we are breaking down all the game action and we're taking a look at how those rookies are doing. How about the MVP odds? It's the usual suspects. It's Asia. It's Caitlin. Oh, she's up there high. It's Nafisa Collier. It's Stewie. We'll see who we think is the favorite for that award. And we're asking the question, are the Fever a super team? And we're playing a game. Do we like it? Do we love it? Or do we hate it? And we're taking a look at Met Gala fashion, the sports girlies crush the carpet, and also the impact that athletes are having off the court, like Asia Wilson, who just dropped her A1 sneaker. And guess what? It's already sold out. We're talking all this and more. Our show, Good Follow, drops every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern on DraftKings Network, on YouTube, or wherever else you get your podcast.
I am dangerously close, Stugotz, to placing expectations upon our next sponsored bit. I have been, I might be ready to admit, way too hard in demanding that you adhere to the standards of our sponsor, Boost Mobile, on our audience and on our callers, demanding that in a sponsored segment that Boost Mobile is giving us money for, they be good and funny and creative and clever and better than most people competing at good and funny and creative and clever. And I've been asking for weeks and months, do better, be better, do better, be better, as I have seen Chris Cody and Mike Ryan and Amin and Billy light up as the callers get a little bit better, like they used to be.
They've been great, Dan. I won't stand for this. I won't sit for this either.
You could take a little advice from me and openly admit when you're wrong sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually endearing.
2.5 times?
It actually buys you nothing, though, because everyone thinks that no one does this. In fact, there's no stronger political force in this country than people refusing to admit that they're wrong. We've lived it for over a decade. But you do buy something with us, the people in the foxhole with you. And it's a nice, endearing quality that more people should turn to. Hey, went off me, coach. That's good stuff.
It's brave of you, Mike, to admit that you were wrong about saying that admitting you were wrong would buy you anything with the audience.
Yes.
So I think now we're up to 3.5.
Thank you, man.
Wow. That was big
better.
of you.
Pass it on.
Ow. Oh. Let me remind the people, it's the Boost Mobile hottest take from the weekend, and it's presented by Boost Mobile, the newest 5G network in the country.
Yo, this is Dave from the 336. James Harden makes me embarrassed to have a beard.
Hey, guys, I just want to say I don't think there's a big difference between a tortoise and a turtle. Let me know.
Long-time listener Joe from Fresno, limited fake Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan from Rush Hour.
Outta! Outta! Hey, this is Gabe on an ET phone home, and my boldest take is Die Hard 2 isn't a bad movie. It's just sandwiched between two greats. All right, I'll hang up and listen. Thank you. Big man for sale or rent. I'm not talking about Rafe LaFrance. He might have played with Shaq. It's Michael Doliak. He'll spend
2 hours in the film room, then sweep the boards like a human broom. Now, tomorrow he won't be back, Jack. He's Mike Doliak.
That's a beauty.
Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Paul calling from Texas. My hot take, when someone starts a sentence with, to be completely honest with you, I immediately don't believe them. I'll hang up and listen.
Hey guys, this is Josh, owner Mobile from North Carolina. I'll have to do that again.
I knew that. That's where that one was headed.
They are getting better.
Yeah.
Yes. If anyone wants to evolve the Michael Doliak song, which I am ready to retire and replace it with some Rafe LaFrentz, I am here for it. I would delight in any. If you're taking requests, musical people out there, and want to compete on Rafe LaFrentz songs, I would. I'd like to hear from you. I'm coming around on the boldest take from the weekend. Our callers, for too long, it took a long time to get a landline around here at Meadowlark. Building video company, landline takes 2.5 years. But we got one. Juju's got one now, too. I think Stugotz has got one. I don't know. There are a couple of them. There are 2 or 3 landlines somewhere the company has bought.
If you want to call in, 305-486-GOTZ, G-O-T-Z.
I think we can all agree, fake Jackie Chan and fake Chris Tucker, while not great, could have gone a lot worse.
Yeah, I'm surprised we actually included it.
Yeah.
I thought it was bad as it was. And shouldn't have been sponsored.
Well, but
could have been worse, though.
The concept there, it could have gone a lot worse.
Well, but no, as soon as he said it, though, I'm like, that's going to go poorly.
Right.
As soon
And
as
it didn't.
But
It
exceeded
didn't go
your
well, but-
expectations.
No,
In our defense,
it went poorly.
He could have been Blasian.
That's true.
Got you there.
Got all your asses.
Don't say
I
he
think
wasn't.
that might be 4. I think that's a half.
Well, I wanted to ask you about this because Mike Ryan snuck in there something. When the smugness sweeps through the bottom of the mustache and our boy is feeling confident on the oratory, he went real political on us with a sentence that I think could have been a platform, but I don't want to get this wrong. Did you say there is no stronger political movement in this country than never admitting that you're wrong?
Specifically men. I've often said this. There is no stronger political. What has happened over the last decade is a refusal to capitulate. There's no stronger political force than men, primarily white men, just refusing to admit that they were wrong.
But you felt like it was a banger in the middle of it, and I thought.
Oh, I know that's a banger. That's why I've often said that, because it's a banger.
But
it's
you
true.
sounded smug and
it's true. Have you ever tried to pin down one of your conservative friends on what's happened over the last 15 years? It's impossible. Have you changed a single mind? Nope. Nothing will. I'm telling you. Like we've well past the point of no return when it comes to these things. If they didn't admit that they were wrong after January 6th, they're never going to admit that they were wrong. You should almost give up and just try to work on the MPAs. MPAs and the people that were somehow part of unions that even though you had the strongest the strongest president ever when it came to unions, you had their union bosses endorsing whatever's going on right now, people just don't want to admit that they're wrong. I didn't like admitting that I'm wrong. I had Malik Rozier as a Heisman candidate until about week 6. You think I felt good about that? I've learned. And you get older and you learn and you get wiser and you realize it's not so bad to say, hey, my bad, got that one wrong. Big mistake there. You know, when the meme stonks were going on, and I bought way too much AMC. That's way too much. That was wrong. And GameStop, like, I just could never get in on the right
Another
time.
admission that he was wrong again? How many admissions? This
Well,
is
the
5
thing
and a
is,
half,
Like,
I
that
think.
was all about timing. Like,
Oh,
there were a
so
lot of people that made a lot of money.
That's a quarter at best.
You're really blossoming. You're growing on. Has to be a record. What's happening with you that you would
Well,
grow?
I don't understand why I have this reputation.
Well,
I'll
he
tell
wasn't
Max
wrong.
Struz, hey, man, I'm sorry. Udonis Haslam, hey, I'm sorry. And everyone's like, well, you're just an egotistical asshole. And that may be true. But look, I had my doubts about Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni. I was wrong.
Yeah.
It feels good.
Still do about it, Sirianni.
I mean,
You weren't wrong about them at the time, though.
we can't do that. We can't do that. We can't. That's moving the goalposts in the other direction.
But Billy's saying at the time you were fair to have doubts,
Yeah.
and now it's easy to
Same
say you
thing
don't doubt them anymore.
with the
You were wrong.
stocks.
Right.
Look.
It was a timing thing.
At that time, I'm like, they're going to need to figure something out because it seems like the league's caught on. They had a bye week, and damn it, they figured it out. So I got to be wrong, and they get to be champions.
I don't know. I don't think you were wrong.
Wild Billy Wednesday.
You could be right at the time, and eventually it
wrong.
looks like you were wrong, but at the time you were right, so it's not really wrong.
All we have is results. I'm sorry. I can't follow you down that path. I can't say we've done this before.
a new mic.
Like, but I will be right. Maybe that's a little closer, but I can't do I'm right at the time.
There's really no, like, end date on this, right? Because, like, if Sirianni ends up being a bust,
He could be right again.
He could be right again, right? Like, what is the time frame I'm right or wrong? Is it, like, the end?
Well, there is an end date, but sometimes it can be confusing. I thought Baker Mayfield was going to be awesome, and I was feeling pretty good after that rookie year. And some injuries, and then all of a sudden he's running D-end at Carolina on their scout team. I'm like, I guess I had that one wrong.
Right.
And guess what? Ultimately right.
But this is Billy's point.
Yeah. Well, it's tough.
You're only wrong if you admit defeat.
Wild Billy
You can
Wednesday.
have an argument go on forever, and until you admit defeat and concede that you're wrong, you're
Correct.
not wrong.
Well, that's
the fight's
actually
not over yet.
If you've ever seen The
right.
Apprentice, that's actually at the crux of the plot.
Yeah, so like you say you hold on to your guns, right? And then you're proven temporarily wrong, in which case
Figurative
you
guns.
you abandon that point, right? You abandon that stance. But then once you're right again, you got to remind everybody, man, I was the first one to say that.
Right.
You don't remind them that you abandoned the stance. You remind them that you were the first to have a stance altogether.
I don't like to be the first to say things, honestly. Like, sometimes I am. But I do tend to subscribe to fools rush in. Yeah. You know.
Except when it comes to stonks.
Well, I mean, I was a fool, and I rushed in at the wrong time, man. It's like you're
You did
just
rush
off
in.
by a
But you
couple
weren't
hours.
wrong. It was
It's
the
like someone's
timing.
watching me and just trying
Well,
to
but
get
you
one
know
over.
what? This is what's this
Watch.
is what's going to undermine the platform of whatever it is that you're doing with the blustering, swagger of there is no greater political movement in this country than people refusing to admit they're wrong. I'm Mike Ryan, political assassin, showing America what's right.
I don't think I want to be called a political
I don't
assassin.
like that. No.
That has a really bad connotation. When you look at that group
Really
of
does.
guys. Wait, Mike, what's your
People
middle
just
name?
mysteriously die. Whoa.
Well, I've had to change it. I don't
How'd
really
that
have.
chef go?
This is confusing. So I don't actually have a middle name, but in all my documentation, since like my restricted license, the fact that my name is hyphenated confuses too many
You have a
people.
real ID now? Today was the
I do
deadline.
have a real ID,
Good.
and
That's
Mike,
a
you
relief.
have to have, if you're going to be a political assassin, you got to have 3 names. That's how it works.
well, I do go by 3 names. And if I were to ever venture into politics, it would be Mike Ryan Ruiz, because Mike Ryan as a brand has recognition.
No, you can't go with Mike.
Breaking news.
And Ruiz would actually help me. The polling suggests.
Thinking
That
about politics, huh?
Polling suggests?
It was John Wilkes Booth, not Johnny Wilkes Booth. You can't be Mike.
Oh,
You
but
got-
you mean political assassin. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
sorry. This is cutting a little closer to the bone than you even know.
Johnny Booth is a quarterback. I mean,
Oh, man, he could sling at Johnny Booth.
The polling suggests.
I'm not. At
You're
liberty.
obnoxious, man. You're obnoxious.
I'm not at liberty to talk about.
Can
it.
This is what? Oh, come on,
I'm
man.
not going to talk.
This
One
is-
day, the
All
book
right,
will be written.
Now listen to me.
About the last few months I've had.
You blowhard.
Oh.
I hope I'm the one writing it. I hope this company lets me.
I hope you're around long enough to write it.
So do
Oh,
I.
Yeah.
Yeah, so do I.
Political assassin. Can I ask an unrelated question before we get too far away?
Wild Billy Wednesday.
Like when you saw John Ruiz's boat sink, off the record.
Well, wasn't
you
that
were-
fake news?
You were happy, right?
Wasn't that fake news?
I don't know. I don't pay attention.
I think
to that.
he's come out and denied it.
Right.
Yeah, because it was,
no one wants to admit their boat sank.
but
Come on.
before you knew whether or
Unless
not it
there's
was
like
fake
an
news.
insurance
No,
situation.
I think
yeah.
I've seen his response.
When you
to it.
you saw like the SS Life
Smile.
wallet went down. You're like, you smiled a little bit.
This may be one of the times we have to admit that we're wrong. I think that came from like a Parody on 3 account.
Tell me Lee
It's real
Oswald.
to me.
By the way, it could be a good week for the Miami Hurricanes.
Tell me Lee Oswald doesn't sound like a middle linebacker for Tennessee.
Oh wow!
Lee
got
Oswald.
Mike Ryan's
Tell
got
me
a
that.
likability problem. He's out here making it sound like an act of nobility that he refuses, as a matter of strength, to go back and ever say, "I was right at the time."
Tell me Aaron Hernandez doesn't sound like a good tight end.
Wild Billy Wednesday.
Were you doing a different show than
Because
the
they were
rest of
doing
us?
serial killers and how they would be as athletes.
Hand up, I'll be the first to admit it. Didn't think that guy was a serial killer. when he got drafted.
Was it cereal?
Yeah, if it's more than one.
Was it more than one?
Yeah, and there's. Have you
Billy,
been
are you
following
informed about anything in the last couple of sentences of speech
Not
out of your
Wednesdays,
mouth?
no.
Are you aware that the people of New England are worried that there's an active serial killer or killers?
Yes.
I believe-
Well, no, wait a minute.
If-
Hold on.
I could be wrong.
Hold
I
on.
believe he died and wasn't guilty.
Just let me backtrack for just a second. What Mike Ryan just said, I don't think I have this wrong unless there's different information in the last 12 hours. Everyone suspects there's a serial killer, but it's not being yet confirmed by authorities that it's a serial killer, even though everyone's saying, no, that's a serial killer. Because do I have my information wrong here?
Yeah, thank you. We have it in preview, but if you could quickly put it in programming before we jump to the serial killer thing in question. As you can see, instead of on 3 sports, it says no 3 sports. Yeah. And you cited what was misinformation. John Ruiz, who's always been truthful, says fake news, not my boat at all.
That's according to him.
I mean,
I think it was his boat.
You are within your right, I guess, to be suspicious of the man.
John Gacy, center, Penn State University.
I like it.
This is Billy failing to admit that he was wrong, though, on a fake news story.
I ain't dead yet. I ain't wrong.
Was that Greg Cody in disguise?
Got what I earn.
So, I mean, there is a possibility that he does have a boat that sinks. Well, then you just move the goalpost to be like, I meant that boat.
I'm still not convinced it wasn't this one.
You think that's noble to say that I will not say that I was right at the time? Like, is it this important to be right about things?
I will say this. If you start your defense with fake news ! I'm kind of like, is it?
I kind of know where you're at.
I don't know.
I kind of know where you're at.
I'm not certain.
Yeah. I'm trying to turn over a new page, and you would think that this would buy me something, but I think from the feedback, it just made me more unlikable.
No, I think it is.
Ted Kaczynski, cornerback, Michigan State University.
Really?
Sparty, huh?
Billy, can you please help me with something because I'm
Doesn't seem like it today.
Well, it's a Wild Willie Wednesday, and we go where Wild Willie takes us. And the thing about your neck brace and the fact that you began your work day, you've had a difficult stretch. God bless, football is roaring to life again as a new season starts. Billy the Duke has been battered climbing up the rankings in football. And Billy's got a neck brace, and he comes in today, and I need him to help me on Wild Willie Wednesday because I thought Mike and Amin were going to be obnoxious. And I feel like every year at this time, and you tell me, please, if I have this wrong, it feels like you always have a neck brace on because wives and mothers on Mother's Day, do you fear it? Is it off in the distance in a way that makes you be like, there seems some tensions here on the way? No, I've got this all wrong.
Like an Oedipus thing?
I don't know what's happening with you and your general.
How do you guys let me ask the married people here with mothers. How do you guys handle Mother's Day? Do you make it about your wife or like your mother?
You make it about your wife.
Well,
but
that's not really an issue for me.
Right, same.
Okay, I picked a terrible
Probably the
sampling
worst,
of people
yeah,
here.
among the worst.
Dan's wife doesn't have a child. You guys have dead moms. I mean,
I'm
this
with you,
couldn't have
Billy.
gone worse.
I can play this game with you, Willie. I struggle with this. My mom, I feel like since I've gotten married, has gotten a little bit less every year. More attention goes to the wife, and I feel bad for my mom. To answer your question, I need to give her more attention this Mother's Day.
This is the act of a man and a son who will never actually do what he just said. It was just to sound good on television and radio.
It's a good job out of you. It's your dad's responsibility, though, right? I mean, is it not for mom? I'm saying
It's my dad's to do for my. I mean, I don't know. I think it's the child.
That's what I'm asking.
If I may play one of your games, I can put the shoe on the other foot.
Oh, I love this.
wow.
Yeah,
so let me
do
put
it.
the shoe
That's
on
a
the
good game.
David
Let's
was
get that
bad at that
sponsored.
game.
Let's get that
David
sponsored.
was very
Shoe is
bad
on the
at
other
that.
foot.
Cynthia,
so you
get
out
that
there?
sponsored. The shoe's on the other foot. Come
Shoes on
on.
the other foot. I actually had like a Tessie exchange with my dad on Father's Day, who still wants Father's Day to be all about him.
No, that's different.
And I understand it's different, but again, the shoe is on the other foot.
Yeah.
So when my whole point to my dad was, look, man, you had your run. Yeah. And now it's my time. Yes. And I don't need you bringing this look at me energy into my domicile on my day. Wow. Daddy wants to sit on that couch, take about 20 mg, and watch Paul Pierce.
Again with Daddy. Again with
Daddy wants to melt into that couch, take 20 mg, and watch some left turns. You keep to yourself. I'll keep to mine. What I want for Father's Day is this. and not you wanting your time. You had your time, and it was a hell of a run.
Yes.
Almost 40 years.
You just want
of
silence.
it being about
Yes,
you.
right, yeah.
I just want them 20 mg.
Yep.
Melt into couch.
Yep.
Left turns.
Yes.
All I want.
Sirhan, kicker, USC.
So, like, do I get my wife a present or my mom a present? Because
You give
my
her
kids,
give her 20 mg.
my kids are too young to actually handle this, and now I have to do this for them. Don't I do enough for my children as it is? Now I have to buy presents on their behalf for their mother. It's not my mother.
I'm going to tell everybody now, and I failed in many ways around here, but us as a media company not being able to show our beloved audience how lovely and wonderful and weird Mike's relationship is with his father is a failure of this entity on a number of different levels.
It's not a failure. It's by design, because every time you try to, I am there with like Thabo Sefolosha defense.
I feel like the people that have listened to this show for a while have a grasp on it.
No, but here's the thing, though,
They
Chris.
get it.
No, what
Yeah.
people don't understand
I
about...
don't think it's that deep.
Okay.
That was a pretty good name pull right
Oh,
there.
it was
I'm proud of
amazing.
myself.
The
And that one
perfect
just
name
came
pull.
to me. I wasn't ready for that. I didn't want to go Bruce Bowen. Everyone goes Bruce Bowen.
Obvious, yes.
Thabo's always going to be a winner there. That you mean
Sefolosha.
when you're able to no, but that's the what's the wonder of that particular ski slope is that the Thabo gets you in the game and everyone's roaring, but then when you can hit it on the back end with Sefolosha and all he did was play defense,
It ends the game.
it's just like there you will not do better than
I
that.
think I finally found something that buys something with the audience. Thabo Sefolosha.
When I'm told you don't need to get me anything, we just got a couch, that's a flat out lie, correct?
Yes.
That's a lie.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It's a trap. It's not a lie. It's a trap.
Can it work the other way with the serial killers and football players? Like, can I go Austin Safarian Jenkins? 7 homicides.
Oh, athletes who sound like serial killers.
Well, I'm just like,
Wow.
yeah.
Aaron Hernandez, Steve Martin.
John Roush.
I like that one. He sounds like he could kill a lot of people.
In the woods, though.
Mm-hmm.
Andrew Toney.
Well, I think the details are. Well, it might get in trouble. Like if I were Ryan Lingerhans, I'd be really like on edge. What do you think I'm going to do to somebody?
Yeah, I mean,
Although I do use his name for cunnilingus.
Ray Caruth.
Jim Drunkenmiller.
That's a good one. It's probably a bad game though.
Yeah.
See, first to admit that I was wrong.
A lot going
and
on in
a
this
fool that
segment.
rushed in.
Jim Eisenreich.
Is that a good one?
yeah,
That's
no.
for Mike's game.
Yeah, that guy kills. Well, maybe I was wrong at the time, but I'll be right now.
Yeah, see?
It's possible.
You get it now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure everyone in this room knows why Jim Eisenreich is so funny.
It's one of those things like Thabo Sefolosha.
No. Jim Eisenreich's got another layer. Thabo Sefolosha is comedically perfect for all the reasons stated. Jim Eisenreich is tougher. Because I don't know whether I have my history on this right, but I believe Jim Eisenreich also had Tourette's. And I don't know if anyone is allowed to make fun.
You got that Eisen right.
We can make fun of it that way. Just like that. In Stugotz's own Tourette's way.
Mm-hmm.
Carl Anthony Towns.
Oh, good one, Cat.
That's the triple.
The
triple
three
name.
names
You
really
guys
is
are
a cheat
cheating.
code.
Yes,
Yeah.
you guys are cheating with that.
Chris Douglas Roberts. Shea Gilgeous Alexander.
SGA.
You can do this forever. You could do this forever. This look at. I mean,
Ken Griffey Jr.
What am I doing where Contavious Caldwell Pope doesn't work for me when he was like on a work release program too? Like you would think it would work, but it doesn't.
It's not. You know what? Too many syllables.
That's right.
Bang, bang, bang.
R.A. Dickey.
That's a good one.
That
you are a genius, sir. Look at that. Look at that.
Multiple states. He's
Oh my
multiple states. Cross state lines. The bodies everywhere.
I'm sorry, Billy.
Dismembered.
Billy, hold on.
By R.A. Dickey.
I have.
So good.
Billy, I have never seen Billy Gill so delighted with himself that he pulled the knuckleballer out of his ass with 2 syllables of R.A. and then Dickey, and then did a dance, and then bowed, and then got hit in the neck by flowers thrown from I don't know
It was
where.
a curtsy that I was trying to pull off, and then I moved too much, and then, you know.
I'm sorry.
I've been told not to speak anymore and just stay seated the entire time.
It's Wild Willie Wednesday. What are you talking about?
Your day.
Lawyers told me, yeah.
When you went down at the knees, I imagined you getting hit with a bouquet because of how lovely a joke R.A. Dickey was. Thank you for bringing the knuckleballer to the conversation and 90s baseball talk, the only place we all love. Was that not 90s?
He probably started that. A guy pitched like 40 years.
He was early 2000s.
Yeah.
You're doing the knuckleballer thing where, like, this guy must have been playing since the 80s.
Yeah.
Careful.
Wow.
I said Negro.
I know you did, but it still scared me.
Jonathan Papelbon looks like he has a den like Quinn Ewers, right?
The plural did it, Stugotz. I know what you're going for, the Phil Necros of the world, but when you just say Necros.
Yeah, especially like the Necros.
Joe, Phil, I mean, whole family. I mean,
the segment started with a fake Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker, and somehow you made it worse.
I can't believe Dan doesn't like that segment.
It's the best.
It's gold every time.
What is the difference between turtles and tortoises?
I don't know.
I think when you get like to a certain age, you become a tortoise, right?
No, I think certain turtles can only grow so much. Tortoises are bigger.
What about the big ones in the Galapagos? Those are tortoises or turtles?
I think that turtles can grow to any size. It just depends on what it is that's holding them in. So, like, if you had a tortoise in like a 10,000-acre field, I think that it could grow to the size of a car.
Wait, doesn't Mike have a big backyard with turtles in them?
No, I've never seen a turtle back there. I've seen a lot of like interesting birds.
Really?
And I hate birds, but I do get some real. Oh, I had an owl back there.
Dude, we had an owl in our neighborhood.
You guys take for granted that the entire audience knows how funny it is to mention the knuckleballing Negros. Everyone in this room, but hold on a second, okay? Because I meet a lot of young listeners.
Careful with the plural.
You started this.
Whatever.
You started this.
The watch.
LeBron. I believe that the majority of our audience, not the minority, of our audience, an aging audience, does not know who the Negros are.
It's me, Juju, and Roy, right? And Hawk. And Dominique sometime. He's not always here. Jason Goff, too. Any others? Bo?
You know, like knuckleballing
Don't
is
put that on me.
Knuckleballing is almost the exclusive domain of the white man. Really? Yeah, I did find a minority.
Wait a minute! What a great observation. Put it on the poll. Of
course it is.
Is knuckleballing the exclusive domain of the white man? But please hold on a second. Just please, everyone, back off for just a second. Okay, please. I'm sorry. Forgive me for doing this.
Actually, I don't think so. I think ChatGPT thinks Dennis Springer is black, and that is not the case. This is why you vet artificial intelligence.
I
We're
don't
not there
believe
yet.
that's an almost situation. I didn't even know why you threw almost exclusively. I defy you people in America to bring me a black knuckleballer.
So I Googled black knuckleballer, and I got a completely different set of results. Not NSFW.
Yeah. I am willing to report without further information, no actual knowledge, and no research from the internet that there has never been on earth a black person who said, you know, I'm not going to get him out with the fastball. I'm going to do this with my knuckles.
I'm trying to figure out why ChatGPT thinks Dennis Springer is black. Because he is not. He's not a black man.
The name sounds a little
he
black.
threw a 43-mile-per-hour knuckleball to Barry Bonds, who hit his 73rd home run of the 2001 season on it. 43-mile-per-hour.
So you think the knuckleball is reserved for Tom Candiotti?
I don't think.
Great name. Great
I
name.
think it's the exclusive domain of the white man.
I know why ChatGPT thought Dennis Springer was black.
It sounds black.
No, it's not even that. It's because ChatGPT is crowdsourcing off of my information, which is one time I did a SportsCenter hit, and they said, this is right when the Astros won, and they said, oh, so-and-so Springer, I don't even remember his first name, is going to be here, and I was shocked that he was black. I was Sean Springer, is that his name?
Jerry, maybe?
No, the one that plays for the Astros.
Wild Willie Wednesday.
Turns out that turtles are primarily aquatic, while tortoises are primarily terrestrial.
Oh, Chris just whispered to me that he didn't have the Wild Willie Wednesday sound because he's trying to find a black knuckleballer. Chris, you won't!
It's hard.
Check the entirety of the internet. You will not find them. Check all of Earth. You will not find them. Black people will not say, I will beat you at baseball with my knuckles. I'd rather not play.
I'm going to ask Tim Kirkchin. He's not ready for this.
Tim Kirkchin doesn't want these problems, these questions. He avoids politics. Kirkchin, why won't you answer for anybody why there's never been a black knuckleballer? And furthermore, all your comments, please, on the Negroes.
It was George Springer I was trying to think about.
Springer Dinger.
I saw him.
He is black.
But I was shocked. They said George Springer's on SportsCenter with you. And I said, oh, that's cool. And I was thinking of some white guy. And I saw him like, oh, you're black. And yeah, it was kind of
You said that out loud?
It was backstage. No one heard me.
I'm sorry. I'm just learning this.
That George Springer's black?
Yeah.
You thought he was white?
It's a white name, George Springer.
Yeah, but Mike's not watching any baseball.
I mean, the Astros have been playing big-time games, and never once had it crossed my mind. I just thought he had a great hand.
Wait a minute. It's a Coachman situation.
Look, man, I'll wear it. This is vulnerable. I'm just.
You're
learning
wrong
this.
about this, Mike. You're bringing race relations forward in this country.
I don't think I was wrong about this. I just wasn't aware, and so I'm learning about this, and I'm sorry. I feel bad about it.
But we're still searching for a black knuckleballer. Not the kind that's on the hub.
Stop your search. There's no search to be done.
It doesn't exist.
There's not a search to be done. What do you like? Search for Bigfoot. Conseco can pull that off. Conseco can't find the black knuckleballer.
It's got to be one.
No,
There has to be.
No, I will listen to me. I don't want to speak on behalf of black people, but in this one instance, can I get permission from somewhere to do this?
I don't think so.
There's got to be like the George Niang of knuckleballers, right?
Yeah.
This is what I'm telling you. No honoring black person. They don't like baseball that much to
Hold
begin
on.
with.
Please clarify that statement because we're like that. Bad start.
It sounded real Pentagon-ish right
Let's
there.
rewind.
No honoring
Start
black
over,
person.
Let's
Dan.
start. Yeah, refresher.
Take two.
We're here for you.
All right. Culturally, I believe.
Take three. Take three.
Yeah, take three. And slowly, please.
Let's pace ourselves here.
Think about it.
I'm rattled, okay, because I still want to explain to the audience that doesn't understand who the Negroes are. Because it's Stugotz blurting that and not knowing what he was blurting and seeing it on his face. I will not recover from that for a while. And so I'd really like to know from our audience how many of you know who the Negroes are, because they're not just funny the way they played. They were frumpy. They were old men. They had long gray hair. They weren't dyeing anything. They pitched into their 40s. And what I am saying simply about a culture of people who love sports, I don't believe a black person with a strong arm or any arm would ever reduce themselves to trying to win a baseball game or getting even a single strike by tricking the opposing batter, by shortening their fingers on how you normally throw a baseball, and fluttering in a knuckleball that butterflies and is not a dignified way to win a baseball game.
I think we found one. Ray Brown from the Negro Leagues.
Wow.
Wait, is that the Negro Leagues or?
Good question.
I don't think that counts.
Whoa.
I'm just
Elaborate,
saying.
please.
It counts for me. I just want everyone to know that.
I understand historically it counts, but like
Pentagon talk.
when I say like we haven't seen a non-white knuckleballer, I think you guys know what I mean. You know, with cameras.
We haven't seen him.
We haven't
With
our
seen
own
them.
two eyes.
It's like, I mean, that was from a time where like people had weird nicknames.
Well,
like
you know
Stubby.
what? You know what I just realized that I'd never thought of?
What's that?
What?
I don't think any Hispanic person would lower themselves to throw a knuckleball either. While I'm thinking about
Jared
it.
Fernandez
like
did
you're
it.
catching
Yeah.
up. I think it's the exclusive domain of the white person.
No, Jared Fernandez was a knuckleballer. He's Hispanic. He's from Utah.
Jared from Utah.
Oh, okay.
Arrepentido.
Let's look into this one.
Jared from Utah.
I've never thought about this before.
Hold on, I found out Hoyt Wilhelm. No, not Hispanic.
Damn. Is he
When
black?
he pitched in the 1890s or 1910s or something?
Born
didn't
in 1922.
Did he play in the Negro Leagues?
He died in 02.
Yeah.
which is around the time Dennis Springer lobbed up that meatball to Barry Bonds.
73 from a knuckleball. Barry Bonds should be ashamed. Hit it off a fastball.
I can't imagine.
He did plenty of that.
I can't imagine the force.
I'm with Dan. I think he should have caught it and thrown it back to the guy. Like,
That's
no, try
such
again.
a weak way to do
Give
it.
me
Try
something
again.
faster.
Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Put it on the poll. If you hit number 73 off a knuckleballer, should it be diluted?
Is there a rule that this sounds ridiculous, and Tim Kirchner would lose his mind when we discuss this, but if someone throws you a 40-mile-per-hour knuckleball and you simply catch it and toss it up into the air and tee yourself up.
That's cheating.
Why is that cheating?
Badass.
Why would that not be allowed? What in the rule book says you can't
How
catch
did
the
you
pitch
not
and
hurt
throw it
your
to
neck
yourself?
taking the swing you just hit
That's
for
gonna
the
be held against you. Well, let me ask you a question. Like,
Whose side are you on?
If you're at the dish,
you know what? Come to think of it, this started bothering me at work.
Yeah, it's a problem.
If you're at the dish,
a bobblehead hit me or something.
If
Who do I call? Skip's not
If
here.
you're at the plate and you make contact with the ball, but with your fingers at the base of the bat,
You can still call him. You can still
Is
call
that
him.
is
He
it
didn't like talking to me when we were here, so
You can still call him.
Is that all right? Someone is following.
I'm
here.
following you, Mike.
All right. If you make contact, if you swing the bat, but the ball goes off your hands,
Right.
but it's a seeing eye single.
Yes.
Like, does that count? If it,
Well,
or
you're
are
hit
you
by, you're hit by a pitch.
Yeah, but you're swinging. You're swinging, so
Right.
the ball hits your hands, and you actually get a single
Yes,
off
that's
your fingers.
no. Yes, that hand is part of the bat in those situations.
So then
except, but
his hypothetical can work.
You know you can be hit by a pitch on the knuckles, which would really hurt at 104 miles an hour, and it not be a hit by pitch if you're swinging.
I think it's the catching of the ball and then
no one's
tossing
tried
it up
it.
to yourself.
I
That's the
guarantee
cheating
you there'd
part.
at least be
Look,
a review.
this is the thing, Billy. I wish that we could get off the ground with the help of Brad Williams a league-wide NFL mandate where we change football Sundays, because instead of the tush push in short yardage situations, every team does indeed have a little person who holds the football, and then you just throw him 4 or 5 yards.
Why are we doing this with Brad? Out of
Because
curiosity?
Brad's his idea. It's his idea.
It's actually Mike Leach's idea, like reported on the
Allegedly.
internet,
But it
and then
was
Brad
actually-
But
Williams.
that might be
Yeah,
a John Ruiz
right.
boat thing.
That was
again.
also Reddit misinformation, because it's something that he would say.
It is something he would say, and if it was misinformation, that's fine. Brad Williams took it and ran 3.4 yards with it.
He pitched it to the commissioner of the NFL. That makes it his idea now.
That's correct. He can sponsor it.
What'll Raj say about it? He seems like a good time.
Well, that's Juju. That's his best friend.
Put it on the poll. Does Raj seem like a good time?
Honestly, of all the commissioners, I think I would hang out with him the most.
Oh, no doubt.
He
I
does
wanna
seem
play
like he
this
probably
game.
would be a
I'll
good
play this
time.
game with
It
you.
is
Yeah.
wild.
It's not Bettman.
It is wild that he's the best commissioner in sports.
Adam Silver.
Silver seems like a stiff.
Nah,
Oh my
he'd have a
God.
good time.
Guy goes to bed at 8.
We're having tea with Adam Silver.
No,
We're
Silver
getting
lets
drunk
loose.
with Roger.
Dan's hung out with Silver.
Has
I
he?
don't know if he's hung out with Goodell. Probably not. Certainly not Rob Manfred. I don't think they're talking.
Didn't Levo make a penis joke to Adam Silver?
I remember that. Yeah.
That's why y'all
Important
drink
dinner,
the tea.
right? Important dinner.
Yeah, and then he got all, I'm the commissioner. Don't talk about penises around me. Jeez.
It is a bit crass.
I mean,
what were you doing?
Prude.
Are you trying to mark commissioners off the list? Manfred out. Silver out. Goodell won't even give you the time of day.
I think Silver would be a good time.
No chance.
No way.
No chance.
I feel like he'd audit me.
And then bill you for it.
Yeah.
I haven't been right since the Negroes. And now you have summoned the memory of my late brother so that I can confirm to you that Adam Silver is a great deal smarter than Roger Goodell as a report.
Right. But is he fun?
But hold on. I've been rattled by the memory of my late brother because I don't think you remember this story. And unfortunately, it's a very funny story that my only interaction with Adam Silver and the aforementioned Skip was with Adam Silver sitting across a loud table from my late brother, who is built very differently than I am and does not care that you need to respect Adam Silver because Adam Silver, I think my brother said something about he's got a parasol instead of an umbrella, and my brother couldn't be trusted in these situations in any way, okay? So my brother, before we were making Adam Silver jokes on the show, my brother was making Adam Silver jokes upon meeting Adam Silver. And so that's not appropriate at a power table. I think Bomani was there that night too. It's just not, my brother is not appropriate at this table in any way. I've got 50 stories like this. This isn't in the top 10. It's not in the top 10. Adam Silver is sitting across from John Skipper. These are two of the most powerful people in sports, and it's loud at the table. It's a Miami restaurant. It's really loud. And I can't hear what my brother seems to be yelling at Adam Silver, sort of the side of Adam Silver's face. Because it's loud, it's kind of nightclubby, it's popular.
How did they end up next to each other in this table?
Well,
like that,
that's
you
a good
need to
question.
control your brother.
That's
in
right.
that
You're
instance.
correct on this. You're correct on this. But I can never control my brother. The first journalist idol, his daughter works for our company that I ever had. Upon meeting him, my brother, he's got a Sports Illustrated press credential. He's meeting him, and he whacks the credential and makes it spin around his neck while arguing with him.
That's a great move, by the way.
Yeah.
Love doing that at a game.
So you do?
Oh, all the time when I'm trying to portray nonchalance, like at the All-Star game, because they don't want you to stand on the floor until you keep moving. So I just stand there and I just hit it like a propeller. People don't mess with you. They're like, oh, he's so nonchalant. He must be here.
It's a weird thing to do.
By the way, I think we're getting player intros at the Conclave.
Dude, did you see they got cards and everything?
Yeah, I think Matteo Zuppi.
I love that guy.
Archbishop Bologna.
You're a grown man, Amin. What kind of you're a respected NBA journalist. Why are you walking up to people and doing my brother's move of knocking
He's a grown man.
the credential?
Oh, I'm not doing it to other people. I'm doing it to myself.
Where are you going with Lebo?
I'm getting there. It's a good one.
Well,
trust me.
We should break because I'm pretty sure you said his daughter is working for our
Whose
company.
kid works here?
Right.
Thank
you for pointing it out. Yes.
Cynthia?
Which one of you is the secret daughter?
No, wait a minute. You guys are not aware that Meadowlark employs the daughter of Steve Wolf, legendary Sports Illustrated journalist?
No, but we were also not aware that Lebo had a daughter that was employed here, and that is what you said.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. So anyways, look, I've been disoriented since the Negroes.
He had a child?
Yeah.